This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
A question. Sarah. No, I don't. I do not.
Welcome to
the
show. Happy 100th episode.
Wow.
This is crazy.
That is crazy. We're in the triple digits.
100th episode. That is a 100.
We have 900 more to get to another digit.
If you want to go back and listen to everything and catch up to this point, you would have to listen to, like, what would that be? Like 150 to almost 200 hours worth of content.
Easy.
And you'd have to catch up on, like, how many Patreon episodes do we have? 20 or something like that?
Yeah.
So that's another 20 hours. So that's like 200 hours.
Goodness.
You'd have to listen to 200 hours. Mm-hmm. If you were listening to this and you have
tempting.
taught every episode.
A really long drive cross country.
And back.
Cross country. Yeah.
A couple times.
I would say you will have gotten to episode 25. I just think you guys that have listened to all of these shows, like, man, Red, I'm thinking of you, buddy. Like, shout out Red. Shout out Jacob. Some of you guys that have been with us since pretty much day one and have listened to everything.
Yeah.
You've heard, like, you've listened to our voice a lot. You probably recognize my voice better than I recognize my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, you probably have listened to my own voice more than I've listened to myself.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You never listen to yourself when you
Nope. I just talk.
Like when they say people like to hear themselves talk, he doesn't listen to himself.
No.
It's a low bar.
Just noise.
But mine's a higher bar for you because I've listened to you talk quite a lot, and they've still probably listened to you talk
I don't listen
close
to him.
close to as much as me.
I don't listen
Maybe.
to him.
I haven't heard
I
a
don't
single
know.
thing that he said in 13 years of marriage, so.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, just so you know, when I think of you, or when I read Philippians 4:8, I think of you.
Wow. Okay.
So he fumbled that one.
I did.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Do you know which one Philippians 4:8 is?
I think I'm thinking of Philippians 4:4, so I don't know.
Nope. It's whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is pure. Ba-dam, bam.
I was going to say, I think I know
fumbled it.
4:4.
I fumbled it. I fumbled it, but it was still good.
Oh, man.
All right, let's. Okay. We have a gift. We have a 100th episode
You had it
gift.
sitting on the tray
burrito?
of our
I wish.
printer.
It's a meat burrito.
You sat it on our printer
I hit
tray.
it. I hit it.
Meat burrito.
This is a celebration snack. And those of you guys that don't like to hear us mouth noises, you can blame it on yourself. You got it for us.
Listen, it wouldn't be the 100th episode if we didn't chew in your ears.
How about this
saying.
unwrapping noise? Is that coming through?
You shut up. No, don't talk. Okay, anyway, this is a gift.
Just turn my mic off.
Don't talk.
This is a gift.
No talking on your podcast.
Don't talk. No mouth noises.
This is a gift
sounds like
from
a
don't
podcast.
smell,
Guy with the
don't
list.
smell it.
Don't
This
smell
is a
it?
gift from John Cryle,
Okay.
the locksmith of Shadron.
Is it goose?
This is from Buc-ee's. This is a fresh made Buc-ee's jerky. Okay. Sorry about the noises. Okay. Ready?
Why can't we smell it?
3, 2, 1, go.
Because when you say don't smell it, it makes me want to smell it.
I know, me too. Mouth noises.
Ooh, it's got a spicy kick to it.
Mm-hmm. That is not a spicy. Did you want some? I know you know what it is.
I know what it is, which is why I'm assuming you didn't even try and hand
Is that a
me
little
some.
bit of ghost pepper, a little habanero?
It's a ghost pepper jerky from.
It's a little warm.
Is it going to kill me? Oh,
It's
okay,
spicy.
so no, I don't want it.
You don't want it.
No, I don't want it.
Spicy.
All right. Now,
I don't want that heat.
That's tasty, though.
I did this so you had to wait a few seconds.
Don't rub your eyes.
Another Patreon supporter, show supporter, Phelan, he ordered us some Cranium energy drinks. Still struggling over there. These are Cranium. They're made in Fremont, Nebraska. Monkey, at one point in time, he had put me onto them, and I never pulled the trigger, and then I forgot about them forever. And
I'm sweating, dude. My mustache is sweating.
Good job, John. I knew what was coming, and I'm still... Anyway.
Okay, I'm about to take my off, guys.
It's a nootropic energy drink. It's got about 150 grams of milligrams of caffeine. And, it's made in Nebraska.
Okay, wait. You know what's cool is it's Cranium. Like, it's yummy. So the expectation is super high right now.
And for the 100th anniversary, we have to do a crayon cacking competition.
Oh, okay. So we're going one at a time.
We have to. Okay. Phil's dying over there, so I'll let him go first.
No, I'm good. I know what. Go.
Okay. I guess
I'll go first.
You go first. It's your birthday. You get to go first.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday,
I don't even
Mike.
tell you. All right. Ooh, that's a good crayon.
Yep.
Ooh, these are crispy cans.
You go. Do all the energy drinks together, and then me.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right.
That's good. I actually like that.
Phil, you know what
It's maybe enhanced by the ghost pepper.
This grapefruit soda flavor, you know what this tastes like?
Grapefruit
and soda?
Grapefruit soda.
Wow.
Is it good? I haven't.
Dude, it is really good. It's like a Fresca.
So mine is called
sweet Fresca.
Blue Twist. That is good. I tried a different flavor. I've only tried one of the other flavors. What is yours?
Melon crisp.
How is it?
It's good.
So the thing about the Cranium is it's a nootropic energy drink. You know, like Gorilla Mind?
Sound like you're in pain. How is it?
Me?
Yeah, both of you.
Oh. So you know how Gorilla Mind is a nootropic energy drink? So you can kind of taste that same... What?
It's not as offensive.
It's so hot.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, it's delicious. I'm just saying.
I'm burning a little bit.
Anyway.
My tongue hurts.
It's serious.
That was a
doing
big
all right.
chunk, by the way.
I'm doing all right.
That was a big chunk of jerky for it being ghost pepper.
No, it's tasty.
I can feel it. I can feel it in my throat a little bit.
My lips are tingly.
I knew it was coming, and I still
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what was better, not knowing or knowing, because it was like the anticipation of the ghost pepper. But anyway, I will say I like this a lot better than Gorilla Mind.
I like this a lot.
It's not even
This is
close.
as far as nootropic. If you wouldn't have told me, I would have never guessed.
I would have never
because
guessed it
this
was
is a
nootropic.
way less offensive version of that.
If this
Fremont, Nebraska Cranium.
If this was in a glass with some ice and I was drinking it, I would have no idea that's an energy drink. It has no...
For real?
No, it's
Cranium.
good. That's actually really good.
Cranium. It's spelled
very good.
CRANI-YUM.
And a cool can.
These guys must have spent
has
some
John
time with the
316
Insane
in the
Labs
background.
flavor room.
Dude, it is good.
That's actually
it has
really
John
good.
316 on the back of it.
Wait, what? Does it?
Does it really?
On the back
Oh,
of
it
Phil's.
does. Yep. It does on
Yeah.
the-
Bro, what? Did these guys just become my favorite energy drink company? Overnight.
Am I stupid?
No.
Or can I, is it
No,
just
you're not,
dark
Phil.
here? Oh, it's dark. There it is. I can see.
Yeah.
I see it.
So,
It's just
yeah,
small.
it says John 3:16 on every can then, apparently. Here's that.
Nice.
Dude, Cranium. You got...
Doing a little in and out
Cranium.
style.
We got to work out a discount with you guys for the
Drop.
podcast because I got to get people buying this. So
This is good.
apparently,
Hey, if you need a distributor out here in the Panhandle, let me know.
for real, apparently in
this.
apparently in eastern Nebraska, you can get them from pretty much like a lot of places. Out here in the west, I've never seen them. So we had to, so I would have had to order a case, and I just never did. I never pulled the trigger because, like, I don't know. I hear local, and I think of the underdog guys. Like I love them, and I want to support them, but I just don't. It's their energy drink is not for me.
Right.
Cranium is for me. This is good.
Yeah.
Shout out Cranium. You guys are awesome. This is really good stuff. I'm gonna reach out to you guys. Anyway. All right. I guess.
It doesn't do anything for the burn, though.
No, it's not.
No.
It's
No.
not doing
I'm doing a little bit better now, but
man.
my tongue. I don't feel like talking.
Can I just point out how great Phil's beard looks? He's got this beard filling out.
thank
He's
you.
he has a dad beard now.
I know.
It's the dad beard.
impressive.
It is impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyway, something I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a couple shout outs out of the way.
Shut up.
We've moved
Shut up.
on from mouth sounds to esophagus sounds.
We start hicking.
There's a good carbonation in that cranium.
So, a couple shout outs for people who've offered discounts to our listeners. You've got Splat Pest Patrol. They are doing the Southern Panhandle region. They said if you mention the Biblically Accurate Bigfoot podcast, you get 20% off your initial treatment. That's a pretty fat discount. They do spiders, wasps, roaches, bugs, mice, everything.
And while they're in doing that, you can swing down to Denver. It's only a couple hour. Well, it's a lot less from the southern half of the Panhandle.
There you go.
And hit up
Like a 4-hour drive, 3-hour drive.
my boy Theo G at Chakra Tattoo, or just Chakra Tattoo, but Theo specifically is offering a 25% discount if you mention that you came from the Biblically Accurate Bigfoot podcast. If you are intending to go down and get some ink done, hit me up so that I know that you're coming, and I'll make sure that he knows too. But anyway, hit him up, set up an appointment, 25% discount, guys. If you mention the Biblically Accurate Bigfoot podcast,
Nuts.
that's pretty awesome.
For a good tattoo, that's a lot of money off.
That is
quality
for
tattoo.
and we're talking like the best, like better than you're going to get in Western Nebraska for sure.
Probably better than you're going to get in most of
Probably
Nebraska.
pretty much anywhere. Yeah. All right. So with that, let's do the Bigfoot affirmation.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, wait,
wanna-
didn't
wait.
somebody did a number.
Somebody guessed the number.
Yeah.
On the Patreon.
Yeah.
He told me to screenshot it. I did not, but I will go figure out where it was. Where did he say that?
I thought I remembered
I saw
the number.
it, so it was in the.
It's in the Discord.
Yeah, I know it was in the Discord, but it was it on episodes?
Episodes, yep, I think so.
Before I think it was Red. He was like,
Yes.
"Hey, before we get going, I've got a number and I'm guessing it, and I don't remember where it was. Let me see if I can find it." But anyway, while we look for that, I'm gonna do the number 1.
Oh. Have we
Bold,
had that one
bold
yet?
guess. I don't think so.
How cool would it be if it did go to 100 and it happened to be 100?
That would be
Wow.
wild.
How many does it go to?
We could have
It's-
totally
it's
made that
just a year's
happen.
worth,
I
isn't it?
think there's
60.
only 50.
Oh, 60,
so,
okay.
so it can't go to 100.
I thought it was just a year's worth.
So I'm gonna say 1 to represent 100.
Okay.
That's my number.
I'm going to say 21.
I'm going to say 10. We'll just do the next.
Okay. I'll do 31.
Okay.
We'll have ones.
Okay, and Red guessed the number is 43.
I thought I remembered that number. Yeah.
That's what he guessed.
Yeah.
All right,
It is
just read the number.
9.
Oh.
9.
I was close.
Dang.
I was
Okay.
really close.
Who said 10? That was close.
Okay.
Me.
All right, now for the question, I'm going to say
Is my mic on?
Who said 10?
Me.
I can't hear anybody.
Who's talking?
Okay, for the question, I'm going to say, what do we do? What do I do if I have an itchy butt?
Wow. Where do I go from there?
Yeah, what's yours?
What do I do if I'm on the roof and the ladder falls?
Question.
Yeah, we changed it up recently. We do a question like the.
We're kinda
Do you
doing
remember the old talk show
Carmel.
where he
Okay,
would
so
he'd
you
have
brought
an
that up
envelope
before,
Yeah,
and then yes,
we've been
I
doing
helped
that
you with
lately.
that explanation.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
We've been doing that lately. So you ask the question and it is the answer.
Oh, okay.
Itchy butt.
I'm unprepared. Someone else.
I
all did it,
accidentally
so-
already looked at the thing, so I can't
How
participate.
do you grow a tree?
Ooh.
You know, all
right.
It's kind of amazing how close all these can be. Be brave enough to walk your own trail.
Wow. There you go.
Yep.
That one felt especially applicable for yours.
Yes.
Be brave, bro.
Yes,
Just
be brave.
Be brave. Be brave.
Anyway.
All right. Intro music has played, and then
Right here.
yeah,
Okay.
because it's your birthday.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
Yay.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Michael. We love you so much, man. Happy birthday.
See, I told you, voice of an angel. That guy.
Yeah, fabulous. Beautiful.
Do we have a hearing
We have-
aid sponsor that we can help Mike out?
Yeah. I was going to say the Smith & Wesson hearing aids. Anyway, so we've got everybody on the show. This is episode 100, guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is fun. This is going to be kind of a special episode. We don't really
We've been talking about
We
this for a
don't
long
have.
time, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't been on in a minute.
Yeah, for real. That's why it's awesome having you back. We're gonna go through and talk about some of our favorite moments, and but before we do that, I've got a lot of current events.
Good.
But before we do the current events, I got something special for you guys. You guys ready for this?
Uh-oh.
All right,
I
ready?
don't like that grin.
All right, ready?
100 episodes! 100 rabbit holes. 100 times we asked you to be your BA best. Raise your cans. Prepare to cran cack. Welcome to the show. B-A-B-B-A-B. Started with an insect fight, changed the podcast name day one. Didn't know what to expect, didn't expect it to be this fun. Then Tanner's chucking discs when something blocked the sun. Bigfoot, Shadow Man, Skinwalker, we still don't know which one. 100 episodes, raise your cans and cran cack. 100 rabbit holes, and we ain't climbing back. From giants to the government, from dogman to UFOs. Somehow every crazy trail leads back to the 1880s. Was the witch of Endor real? Could the dead come back again? Ghosts or demons? Okay, sure. Aliens? Demons as well. Bigfoot? Demon, maybe. Christmas elves might just be real. Leave some porridge by the door, or they'll make you pay. Then MK Ultra broke our brains, cracked the floor beneath our feet. Now every harmless government file feels slightly incomplete. Courtney found a cat lady coat that should have been the end. But cats led straight to Manson, then to MK Ultra again. Mike arrived the skeptic, rolled his eyes at every claim. Went searching through conspiracies and found Jesus once again. Phil leaned toward the microphone and shared what he believed. Censored! Phil tried to clarify, and somehow what we censored was the cleanest part, he said. Grand cacking, worldview cracking. Phil gets censored, keep on laughing. Cat cult, mind control. Every week another hole. Kandahar giant stories, then first-hand sources hit. We started out just laughing, then we had to deal with it. The Smithsonian keeps changing history as they go. They found the bones, we lost the bones. Please stop asking where they go. Tartaria really did exist, that part is definitely true. Just not the magic empire that the internet sold you. We came prepared to prove it, then the evidence said no. We even changed our minds in public That's how rabbit holes should go. 100 episodes. Raise your cans and crank cack. 100 rabbit holes. And we ain't climbing back. From giants to the government. From dogman to UFOs. Somehow every crazy trail leads back to the 1880s. The Bermuda Triangle spooky, but Alaska said that's cute. Planes disappear, the compass quits, and nobody finds the route. Then Dulce Base got so bizarre, one show would never do. 4 whole episodes underground, more Dulce than you asked us to. Red taught us everything about the dogman lore. We asked a single question that gave us 2 hours more. Camden joined the podcast, sat quietly in his chair. We asked him for his thoughts. Thank you, Camden, glad you're there. Montauk's worse than Stranger Things. Psychic chairs and secret tunnels. Then a hill where psychic children went searching there for Jesus. 100 nights of questions, 100 strange debates. 100 times we laughed too hard and stayed up way too late. From insect fights to giants, from dogman to the skies, we never solved the whole wide world. But what a wild, weird ride. Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! Bigfoot affirmation of the day. You are strong, you are loved. You are emotionally prepared for one more theory that ruins your understanding of history. Raise your cans. Crab cat! Ghosts, demons, aliens, demons, Christmas elves, cat cult, bad son, Camden, no comment, Phil said. Right tried to sound profound. Everything leads back to the 1880s. 100 episodes. Raise your cans and crank cack. 100 rabbit holes. And we ain't climbing back. From giants to the government. From dogmen to UFOs. Somehow every crazy trail leads back to the 1880s. Be best. Be your ain't best. Okay. 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 Bye. Okay. Okay.
I'm beginning to feel a bit one-dimensional.
Oh, we got to put the trope in there.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
That's it, though.
I mean, one of us has to get censored.
Yeah, it's got to be. You got to be the
guess.
censored one. I'm the one that doesn't shut up.
Okay.
Mike's the one that tries to sound profound.
Yeah.
And
I like
Courtney's
the
the one
try-
that
I
we
like the
ignore
tries
when she
part.
speaks.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, though the insect fight, I was like, what was that? And I was like, oh my gosh, that was that the first?
That was right
That
off
was
the
First,
bat.
oh my lord! Because I was trying to clean
Oh
the
yeah,
basement.
that's right.
Oh my gosh!
The yeah, you had
Spider in the earwig?
bug,
Spider in the earwig.
like the UFC
Yes.
bug fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Gosh,
a children's
dude.
book, but like twisted.
I know, right?
Yeah.
like one of those ones that looks like a children's book, but it's
It's like
Yeah, right.
It's like
Yeah.
a Tim Burton children's
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so fun. I like
mouth feels
making
weird
that song was
after
so fun because
Ghost
it
pepper
was.
with the drops.
I basically was just like going through the episode list and just like remembering all of the crazy things that happened. Like those first episodes were fun.
My most useful contribution being the crazy cat lady Cole.
The crazy cat lady Cole was.
I was scrolling through the
Pivotal.
episodes to try and remember what my favorite one
I
was,
know.
and I saw that, and I just
yeah.
That was a good one. And then Yoho Thalassophobia.
Yes.
Those were probably your two
So
biggest
much.
episodes.
Yeah. Hey! The Appalachians was my idea too.
That's
the
true.
Appalachian feral people was still. It's one of our most listened to episodes all time.
That was my favorite thing was you guys deciding whether you were going to call it Appalachians or Appalachians.
Appalachians.
And then deciding to call it Appalachian.
Apologies.
Still forgetting to call it
And
Appalachian.
it's stuck.
Yeah.
That's what we call it now.
Episode 13, the Appalachian Mountain Feral
Doesn't
People
feel like
is
it was that early.
It is
That's
one of our
nuts.
biggest episodes. Yeah,
I feel like we were further in.
Mike didn't come on the show
I was like in
until
the 30s. Yeah, 20-something, 30-something.
let's see. I could find
I think
it.
it was like.
I think it's even. I think it was even.
I was
later.
thinking it was like 40.
It was right after a baby was born.
48.
So
Yeah. Episode 38.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay.
that's crazy.
Something like that. Yep. So yeah, so we had like nearly a full year before you even came on the show, and it's
Right.
weird to
Well, I
think
mean-
of the show without you now
Yeah.
because you're
Well,
such
it's
an
I mean,
amazing
that was
member.
right when
yeah.
when that post that you put up went viral, because that was right when we were in the middle
Yeah,
of
that
Right.
went
NICU
viral right before
stuff,
that.
and
yeah.
then that's when Mike
That's the
came on
crazy-
because I was on maternity leave and everything like that. So
that was the craziest thing was that one of the hardest moments of our lives. And as far as the podcast goes, it was one of the biggest moments because that post I think has like 2.5 million views now.
it's nuts.
And and I still at least once a week I still get a new comment on that post. It is still getting pushed out into people's algorithms.
That's crazy.
A year and a half later, it's still popping up.
Because I'd always assumed like once something runs its course, it's like dead, you
Yeah.
know, and just off. But yeah, no,
That episode was episode 31, and that set us forward so far.
That was
because
31?
It was episode 31 when that went viral.
Holy.
crazy.
Yeah.
So we had done 30 episodes before that post even happened.
We were just
and
having
when
fun.
that happened, that post got us from where we were to, because up until that point, I feel like the bulk of our listeners were local people who had heard about it through
Yeah.
word of mouth.
Yeah.
That moment forward, I can't tell you who most of our listeners are anymore.
It was probably also the episode that got us Washington, D.C. listener.
Probably. Yep. That's the
had to
crazy
bet.
thing, because that was episode. I think it was like episode 59 or something like
That's
that.
how you know you made it in this
Is-
industry.
'Cause that was on the show when we discovered our Washington
And
DC person.
Was that when we
Washington
found our
thing-
handler too?
the Washington D.C. thing was so funny because literally I found that we had a D.C. listener and I could pinpoint their address or their location within a certain like a small area. And then we talked about it on the podcast. We're like, hey, if you're just a regular listener, hit us up. I will send you free energy drinks.
Yeah.
And that next episode, we no longer had a DC listener because I
turned on their
guarantee
VPN.
They turned their VPN on. So rather than getting free energy drinks, they got and
Maybe
I
they
even
just,
said.
maybe they're like me and they just don't really like energy drinks.
And I'll give them a coffee. I'll give them a gift card to Texas Roadhouse, or you know what? They're in DC. I'll give you a gift card to your
Sushi.
favorite.
They also
You guys
didn't.
like-
No, they're
they
in
like
DC.
sushi,
So
right?
they're in DC. I'll give them a gift card to their favorite pizza place because of that.
Well, sushi. Don't you
You
remember what a lot of the government budget was supposedly spent on? It was like millions of dollars per week on sushi. So yeah,
That's true.
Well, they also like pizza parties.
Yes, because of
Oh
the
my
pizza
gosh,
index
don't say that.
and the pizza parties.
Don't
Yeah.
say that. We like no.
We like
No,
pizza.
that was
You did,
dude. Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean. Anyway,
nice try, Diddy.
Wow.
Imagine if episode 100 gets banned.
I was like, there's no episode 100.
no episode. What
That's
happened?
weird.
Oh man,
the
It's-
DC
it is
person
crazy.
didn't have to say anything.
No.
No,
They could have
could've
just continued to listen.
going.
But they're
the
like,
fact-
I got called out.
Yep. They knew
Relocate.
they knew that they were like, let's change this.
It'd be
And
like
it's-
today with our jerky, and like we're like, and old John Crowell brought us some jerky, and then all of a sudden we can't find John Crowell anymore.
yeah, he just disappears because he
we were on the
All right, so
because I want more.
before we keep it's over here.
I don't.
We'll wait till
No, I don't want the ghost pepper part of it. I just want more jerky.
Oh,
but I don't
gotcha.
want it to be ghost pepper.
Oh yeah, that was from Buc-ee's.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
But
It's from their meat counter.
my mouth started feeling kind of weird for a little bit.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it.
It was good.
So we'll kind of shift gears just a little bit, but I want to come back because we're going to keep talking episodes. Get some current events out of the way. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Have you guys been following? And we'll say his name one time. from now on, we got to think of a different. We'll just call him Doctor after this.
Oh,
have you been seeing all of the Fauci stuff?
No.
So his personal journal got released.
How'd that happen?
And
I know, that's always my question.
in his personal journal, I believe it had to be because it was subpoenaed. Because so from my understanding, I haven't looked a ton into the behind, but from my understanding, because of the fact that Biden had pardoned him, he now is under a different set of rules. Okay, so they released his diary. In his diary, he straight up says, and he talks about in his diary that how much money he made and how cool it was that the stock market crashed when he made up the lie, and it says in this, the lie, that COVID was 10 times deadlier than the flu. And then this morning,
Oh, geez.
he had to testify in front of the
Supreme Court?
Capitol.
the Capitol Hill
Capitol Hill.
Commission thing. And in this, he said nothing other than I plead the fifth the entire time. They were like, what color is your tie? I plead the fifth. But here's the thing. He has been pardoned. He legally cannot plead the fifth. So now, and I haven't caught up yet because it's literally going on as we're recording. So I haven't caught it up, but I think that if you try to plead the fifth, but you have been pardoned, that you are now in contempt and you are going to jail until you no longer plead the fifth on it. You have to. You cannot, from my understanding, you cannot plead the fifth if you've been pardoned for that crime. So therefore, if you refuse to talk about the crime that you've been pardoned for, you will be thrown in jail until you are willing to talk about that crime.
You've brought this up before.
Yes.
You have. I don't know if it's specifically about Dr. F.
Probably not. Maybe it was. But one way or the other, it is going down as we speak. It is wild. I was watching. I had it on in the background.
Diary is
Dr.
wild
Fudge.
to me. If I have professional files,
yeah,
they can only be subpoenaed if they are in a facility owned thing. You know what I mean? So if I have them at my house, they can't be subpoenaed.
okay.
If I have them in a file or I have them on my computer at my house, yes.
I'm guessing it was probably on his computer, but do you know if
that's what I'm betting.
But do you know if it's the same thing if you've been pardoned?
That's the thing I don't know.
Because once
what
you've
crime
been
was he
pardoned,
for?
everything. Literally, Biden just went through and was like, pardoned.
But
He's
you know what I
pardoned.
mean? Like specifically,
Yeah.
I think it depends.
No, that was the big issue. We actually
what he got pardoned for.
But we talked about this,
Yeah.
and the pardon was basically for all crimes dating from like 1991 on, and it was basically an all crimes pardon, and that was one of the things that Trump argued right off the bat during the campaign trail was you can't pardon somebody, you have to specifically name the crime, but the Biden ones, which you've now figured out was all auto pen stuff, the auto pen pardons were all for just broad stroke pardons, and they weren't sure, and so everything was going to have to go through the court system to figure out whether or not they legally could even be pardoned for it.
It almost feels like rage baiting because you don't have to say plead the fifth.
You can just not talk.
Yeah, you can just not talk. Like literally.
Well, was he the one that was saying it?
Yeah,
not a lawyer.
It was him.
There's
a lot. Oh yeah,
sounds like rage baiting to me.
There was one new thing.
You don't have to say anything.
Right before we came on the show, there was one more thing, and this is the dumb thing about it is there's going to be so much more information out by the time because this next week it's going to be combed over 100 times. So what we're going off of is such preliminary information that you're going to know more than we know by the time this comes out. But in his journal thing that he had, his documentation, I'm guessing it's a documentation journal. Yeah. Dr. F got a VACCINE related injury and kept it quiet while still pushing for the mandatory VACCINES. So he even experienced an injury from it. Anyway,
wow,
it is wild. But here's the thing. Here's the most important part of the entire thing. My boy, you know, I love this guy. He is my spirit animal. If I were to have a spirit animal in Congress or whatever, Fetterman.
Yeah.
He's such a funny dude. He full blown suited it up today for this trial.
Yeah.
Showed up in like a full, like looking nice. It was cool. It was actually really cool to see. So he took it seriously. But
yeah, this is just crazy. Like, why would you document something like that? That's what's blowing my mind. Why
my
would you
guess.
have
That's a question I
documented?
keep
But here's the thing, though. If
To me, it almost sounds like some sort of setup.
but here's the thing.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, to me, that seems crazy that you would document.
But here's the thing.
crazy.
He's in his 70s and he's gotten away with everything that he's ever done.
Right.
You would start to have why do
write it down, though?
Why do serial killers send in their information to the cops?
Well, that's a little different.
How? What if he has the same mentality as a serial killer?
Feels like a stretch.
How does it feel like a stretch?
Make that connection for me, because it's not making it's not connecting.
So if you have the
Many
same
crime.
if you have the same
Same
kind
sort
of
of
God
root.
complex as someone who does serial killings, and they think they're above it,
It's
they're never going to
psychopath
get caught
behavior.
or whatever, and they want to get caught almost.
Okay.
At some point, if you're doing all that stuff, who's to say that he wouldn't want to get caught too, in the same way? If he had the same, if
So that people
literally
can
the
see-
difference between
But
him
so-
and somebody else is
what
that
you're
he's
saying
in charge of
is
stuff.
that this journal was antagonistic. He put it out there to see if he would get caught.
Why do serial killers keep journals?
I don't know of any serial killers that keep journals.
Why do they? There's quite a few actually.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
So why do? I mean,
I know
this
you're
is
talking
something
about.
that I
see
do
what
look
you're
up
saying.
a lot, so I do know.
But it's
yeah.
an antagonistic, and it's very much a God complex thing. But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. If you're comparing it to serial killer God complex, then you're saying that he did this to see if he would get caught, which could be. I'm just saying.
I mean, is it that far fetched?
I'm just saying.
And here's
I'm just
the thing.
asking the question. So
So-
I'm like, this is crazy to me.
Right.
Why would you write that down?
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But and also on another level, though,
a theory.
It is a theory. But on the other level, if it wasn't his, why would he not say that it wasn't his?
Okay, ask that again.
If
Why is he just
so if
pleading
his
the fifth
journal
instead
isn't
of
his,
defending himself?
Right.
Why would you not be like, this isn't mine?
I mean,
It was planted. I don't know.
I don't know.
That seems a lot more logical than
just
going to
devil's
jail
advocate.
for pleading the fifth. The one thing about Dr.
Unless
F,
that he knows it's just his.
Budge.
I will say the one
Not
thing
gonna-
about Dr. F is
Fudge.
that there is a weird political. There's a political divide on him, and it bugs me because as his position should not be political. Why is it political? Why is his position political? That should never be a political position. But we've created a political divide on whether or not we agree or disagree with him. Because here's the thing: early on, I liked Dr. F. I respected him. I looked up to him. I actually liked a lot about him. It wasn't until this stuff really started to come out that I really fully realized
I think
this dude is a narcissist.
At this point in America,
Allegedly.
at this point in America, if you are in a government position, you are forced to take a political side. It's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
It becomes political. That's just the world that we live in. If you're in a government position, you are forced to be political.
But and so then my
But it shouldn't
secondary
be. Why
question
is
is,
that, is what-
and my secondary question is why would the liberal side of politics, why would you not want the truth to come out about this? What benefits you as a human being for the truth to not come out? Would you not support him being on trial? Why in what world is it not
Because-
beneficial for him to be on trial?
Because that would be admitting that they were associated with something negative, and they can't do that. I mean, realistically, that is the answer to that.
Again,
Because
like
the
I
le-
said, I'm saying because even on my end of things, like I said, I supported him. I listened to him. Early on, I took his advice.
I remember he was on TV right when everything started.
Yeah.
And I remember turning to you and being like, I don't know where he stands on like anything, but I'm going to be praying for this man because like the weight of the world is on his shoulders, like regardless of how you look at
And then come to find out that everything that he said about the gain of function and all of the trials and stuff like that and where it originated from has been released, that it is for sure everything that he said about that was a lie. And because Tulsi Gabbard released that on her last day as kind of like a flip you off parting gift. Gonna just drop this out there. But again, I go back to the same thing. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you fall on. In what way does it benefit you for him to not have to come to trial and tell the truth about this? Even if he's pardoned, even if he never sets foot in jail, for our society, for our world, it can only be good for the truth of this to come out. Because we can learn so much from this happening to prevent it from happening again. But anyway, he's on trial. Have fun. You guys probably already know more than I do at this point when you're listening. And you're probably going like, no, that was already proven false and whatever.
I just wonder if the full truth would ever be brought to light. And if it was brought to light, if anyone, like we're not all going to agree that the truth is the truth, even if it is brought to light at this point. And that's kind of the thing with it.
Yep. The politics.
Same thing with like Tulsi Gabbard resigning, and just all that. It's like,
there's a
what happened? Did it happen because they found something on her? Did it happen because she was just being pressured out of it?
Okay.
It's just those situations.
You brought it up, and I want to kind of continue on that just for fun. I just want to document it allegedly. Okay, this is all allegedly. This doesn't exist.
Okay, I looked up real quick. If it's illegal to plead the fifth, if you've been pardoned. It is not.
That's not true. If for that crime,
is not.
For that crime, for the crime that you have been pardoned for, you lose your pleading the fifth right.
They throw your testimony out is the worst crime, the worst they can do for you.
I've looked this up a couple different times after it happened, and when you plead the fifth, or when you have been pardoned for a specific crime,
right,
you cannot plead the fifth in court or under perjury for that crime anymore. That's part of the rules of the pardoning.
But if something that if
it's not related to that crime,
something they're asking you brings up you can plead the fifth.
But it has to be new. But if it is specifically but here's the thing. He was pardoned for all crimes. So then anything that he did that was a crime.
So I'm not arguing with that. I'm helping you.
I know. But anything that he did that was a crime is no longer either the pardon doesn't work and it doesn't count, or he cannot plead the fifth for any crime that he has ever made.
Right. So
because of the nature of the pardon.
So what I'm saying is, if he's pleading the fifth, he is basically admitting that he's got incriminating stuff that he doesn't want to share.
That hasn't been pardoned yet.
Right.
Or he is going to be like I said, he'll be going to jail until he no longer pleads the fifth. One or the other.
Right. And because he's pleading the fifth, anything he says that has to do with anything he's been pardoned for gets automatically thrown out.
Yeah, he cannot be charged for something that he admits during a trial if he's already been pardoned.
Also, he can't incriminate anybody else with anything.
And that's actually part of the so doing the research on all of this stuff, that was actually one of the reasons why allegedly it has been so hard to try anybody that was associated with Jeffrey Einstein.
Right.
Because during his first trial, to get him convicted, they basically did this thing where all of his associates were now like anything that was associated with that crime was now under that jurisdiction, and those people could no longer be charged for it.
And so it created makes more sense now.
Created a giant.
Speaking of old Jeff. Did you guys talk about Palm Beach Pete's little thing last week?
Did you see the video where somebody pulled up?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey,
that's what you're talking about."
Yeah.
Hey Jeffrey,
and he
and he starts yelling, "Palm Beach Pete!
It's Palm Beach Pete!"
He peels out,
dude. What more do you want?
Oh my gosh!
Okay, did you guys see the thing about the white suit party that occurred just like a couple weeks ago?
No.
So there was a white suit party where it was the elites of the elites were the only ones invited. And I'm talking
Let me
Like,
guess.
The elites of the elites were the only ones invited. And guess who was there?
Pete.
Palm Beach Pete.
Brother.
And everyone was
Brother,
wearing white.
Why is
Brother,
Palm Beach Pete at this
if
event
anybody-
that even like A-list actors can't get
Again, it's
into?
like they're not even trying.
If
to
anybody didn't
Yeah.
see the
Still.
video, if anybody didn't see the video, here's what happened. Okay. This guy rolls up next to this convertible in traffic. It's at a stop sign or stoplight or something, right?
Yeah.
And he looks over, he's like, it's Palm Beach Pete. Hold on a second. He rolls down his window and he goes, Jeffrey. And the guy like turns and
Big,
smiles.
cheeky grin.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what's up? Sees the camera, snaps back, smile gone, looks forward, takes off. It's Palm Beach Pete. It just rolls off.
yeah.
It was the most like natural reaction to hearing your name. I saw people being like, what, you don't look over when somebody yells in traffic? I don't look over and
Not like
smile
that.
at
If
him like
someone-
it's an
if
old
I-
friend.
If I'm stopped in traffic and somebody goes, Frank, I'm going to look and be like,
Who the crap
I'm
is
not
Frank,
Frank.
and what are
I'm
you
not
talking?
yeah, I'm going to look at him
Yeah.
confused.
That was not
like
that
a,
reaction.
What's up, homie? Throwing up the deuces kind of.
That
deal.
was-
Not
yeah.
a chance.
That was about the most
man.
got him video I think I've ever seen. Like it was so perfect.
so wild.
So,
But
speaking
the white
of,
party, though, like
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
dressed in,
Yeah.
why even do that
why invite
when it's
Palm Beach
out
Pete?
there?
Yeah.
Well, like why be like we're all gonna dress in white at this party?
Oh, yeah.
After everything that's been put out
Well,
about it.
Because, again, they can. And so they
Yeah.
like to
And so
shove
they
it in
do.
our faces.
Yeah.
But it's
And
just
so
proof.
even if it's
that
not...
they don't,
It's that sociopath thing.
they
we're
don't
talking
care.
about, yeah.
even if it's not Jeffrey Einstein, if it actually is like this guy is his own person, even if it is, them inviting him is still kind of a middle
Oh, yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Because they're saying it doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
can invite him and we would know.
whether it's him or not.
Yeah, whether it's
Yeah.
him or not.
It's totally.
There's nothing that you
Messed
can do
up.
about it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, I actually have this story that kind of blew my mind of Jeffrey Einstein. If you don't know who we're talking about when we say Jeffrey Einstein, I'll say it once. Epstein. Anyway, so
And if you don't know, you obviously don't.
yeah, you don't listen to the show, and episode 100 might not be the best place to start. But, oh yeah. In the 90s, there was a public access host named Clay Tiffany. This dude was like, so think like Alex Jones, but like the great value version of Alex Jones.
Okay.
So
I
public
thought Alex
access-
Jones was the
Yeah.
great value version of
This-
Alex Jones.
No. We're talking like public access Alex Jones.
Wow.
Like
I hear what you're
super-
saying.
yes.
I was just
So
It's good to
apparently he would get on there and just rant and rave about all these conspiracies. Apparently he accidentally stumbled on a real conspiracy. And this was that that New York police officers, like the state of New York police officers, had enforcers for the mob that worked for them. This is all, I'm just going to say just for fun, this is all alleged.
that doesn't even
So-
sound remotely far fetched.
So then one day, one of the officers named Nick Tartaglione confronted
That's not
him
Italian at all.
and told him, stop talking about it. We're going to come after you if you don't stop talking about it.
That got knocked
You're
off
starting to
Jimmy
draw
Hoffa.
unnecessary attention. Stop. So Clay doesn't stop. So then Tartaglione begins to beat him up and beats him up bad. And each time he gets beat up, and then Clay would go back on the show, say, I got beat up. See, this proves my point. Then Tartaglione would beat him up more. And then at one point, he puts him in the hospital for a couple weeks. So Clay goes and does a Freedom of Information Act request on Nick. And sure enough, there are a ton of cases against him for brutality. And he's been dismissed from a handful of police departments and just kind of keeps hopping and skipping to different departments in New York. So at this point in time, people start to get kind of annoyed by Clay and not giving up this conspiracy theory, and like there's like, you're too obsessed. So then they began petitioning, allegedly they began petitioning to the network to cut his public access show. His public access show gets cut, so he no longer is on the show, and the issue with Tartaglione drops away. Fast forward to 2015, Clay passes away. Fast forward to 2016, Tartaglione was arrested for the murder of 4 men in a drug trafficking stop that went bad. Then, continue on to, and you want to know how this wraps in, our good friend Jeffrey Einstein. Tartaglione would be Einstein's cellmate in prison.
Oh,
I think I read about that.
oh no!
I think I read.
I vaguely feel like
now that we're wrapping that around, yeah. I didn't realize there was that much history.
I was going to say,
that did feel a little familiar. Yeah,
I feel like I remember hearing the name of his cellmate and like a vague notion that like he was kind of known for being rough.
So my question is, was Tartaglione in there to protect him? Because Tartaglione obviously was connected as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seems fitting, right? But it makes you wonder.
Interesting.
It makes you wonder.
that's crazy.
All right.
Do we want to jump to the air conditioning thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you have it.
So I came across a video the Fat Electrician posted about the history of air conditioning and how I've been saying this for a long time. I actually asserted a greater statement than he did, which is that air conditioning is the pinnacle of human innovation. It is like the best thing that we've ever created by quite a bit. I hadn't really thought too much about like the connotations of air conditioning and how much it has affected in terms of our ability to create, innovate, invent, like electrical components, and like a lot of the tech there wouldn't be possible, or at least at the level of manufacturing that we've been able to achieve without air conditioning. Air conditioning is phenomenal. It's my favorite thing. I love it so much. And the electrician put out a video talking about all this stuff, and then the fact that Europe doesn't like air conditioning overall.
Right.
And do you know how many people have died due to the heat and lack of air conditioning in Europe? It's in the like several hundred thousands. It's like
175,000 a year.
The figures I found when I was looking a little bit further didn't support quite that many per year, but like in the last couple of years, like,
right.
But
in all
regardless, you're talking several tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people per year across Europe dying because they don't have air conditioning. And
it's crazy.
I was showing Tanner this video, and Nick very briefly touched on a conspiracy theory that he kind of supported, and Tanner's like, I believe this. Like he already had it. So the theory is that Europe is intentionally creating an environment that is hazardous to the survival of vulnerable people in order to keep their free universal health care in quotation marks from collapsing, because that's the only way they can afford to do it is by knocking off like kids and old people. Yeah. And it kind of makes sense. And
consider all the issues we have in America with like talking about like, oh, that's not going to exist anymore because it's costing us so much money and stuff like that to pay for this boom of older people. Europe is just letting them pass away. So apparently, so there are people that are pushing for air conditioning in at least like some of the spaces that house a lot of these more vulnerable people, like high risk people for heat stroke. Apparently, they don't have air conditioning in hospitals, schools, public transportation, or nursing homes. Not in hospitals?
That's what I'm saying. Schools, bro. They don't have air-conditioned schools.
Well,
what?
Do they have summers off like we do?
Air-conditioned schools till like 2 years ago.
Really?
Really?
Huh.
Our school.
That's crazy. We had AC. I was a kid. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, and hospitals.
Yeah. But hospitals we have summers off, and so that's part of the reason why.
Probably about 5 years ago, they added AC.
Really?
Could not believe it. Could not believe it. They've been apparently investing in other longer-term solutions to the heat, such as shade, insulation, and what they call cooling centers. I don't know if that's just air-conditioned places that you can go to get out of the heat besides your home.
Probably just those leak hoses in the park.
Do you guys know what some of the other stuff they do is to combat the heat? Nick was talking about it in his video.
You know what's crazy to me? Like, people survived for thousands of years. Like, when we were kids, there was no air conditioning or central air in houses. Like, and we did, you know what I mean? It's just crazy that the death toll is so high. because the air conditioning, relatively speaking, is not that old of a technology.
Well, but
people have been around forever.
In America,
It just blows my mind.
The South wouldn't exist as it does today without air conditioning.
Yeah.
Well,
Phoenix wouldn't be a city.
Yeah.
Texas wouldn't be a populated state. Southern California, the temperature's not horrible, but
Florida'd be cooked.
again,
I've
though,
actually been thinking about
but
this
also
quite a lot
like
lately,
you also have to think about like that. Just because we survived at younger ages doesn't mean that old people lived.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so eventually, at some point, the heat's
it
going to
just
get
surprised
to them
me.
too.
It just surprised me that the numbers were that high for something that people survived.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know, maybe it's kind of like the vid thing where things that other cause of deaths are attributed to this.
Yeah.
Because that's an easy way to scapegoat it. So I started thinking about like other policies that Europe has that might cause this kind of problem, and like some of the immigration laws they've got over there, or lack thereof, like the allowance of some of the more violent cultures, shall we say, have been a lot of problem over there. They don't allow firearm ownership for the most part, and so like you don't really have a way of defending yourself. The knife violence is insane over there. Just the amount of things that they do that are anti-health of the people is kind of crazy, and it kind of leans into that conspiracy theory of like, well, maybe they just want to allow things to take the lives of their
population
people.
control.
Yeah, we'll just let nature sort it out so we don't have to commit a genocide. But no, for real.
I've been wondering that a lot lately because I actually almost passed out a couple weeks ago because we were in the library and and it's like super hot in there.
So
no moving air, and they like didn't have the AC turned on. I was just when the air gets really close. I don't know.
Getting soft.
On Nick's video,
I mean, I have chronic illness, but
on Nick's video, he spliced in a clip of an interview that a lady was doing on a British news channel talking about like how they combat the heat. And so one of the ways they did it was like sleeping under a wet sheet, which already I'm just like, no, absolutely not.
Sounds like illness.
And then like if they're sitting at home, they like have their feet in a bucket of water like under the desk. And then the worst one, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe this is real. They smear yogurt on their windows.
It was a lady, like, I saw the video.
The
She's dead serious. Like, that it is something that that some of them do over there.
Yogurt on the window?
They also don't rinse off their dishes when they're done washing them.
Oh, they're some freaks, dude.
We do have listeners over there. Y'all, just come visit us. You'll figure it out. All right.
I'm not mad.
We're not saying it's wrong.
Just explain it to me.
Nah, say it's wrong. I don't care. I don't care.
It's not wrong. It's just not right.
It's just not curious. I'm curious.
But yeah. Anyway, it was
okay.
It's crazy.
It was great.
I came across, this episode's going to be like current events pretty much because we got so much. But I came across a thing that so the Nolan brothers?
Yep.
There's 3 of them.
Yep.
2 of them are movie producers.
Yeah.
Christopher.
I sent you this, didn't I?
Yes, I think you did.
Yeah.
They have a third brother.
Yeah.
This third brother, so there's a theory.
Let him guess.
Who's the other one that produces movies? It's Christopher, and who's the other one?
I only know.
Is it Scott? No.
I can't remember what it is. He's produced some good movies.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know any of his movies. I know Christopher's.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Christopher's movies because he's
Spell it
the
out
Dark
for us
Knight guy.
anyways.
But
So there's 3 Nolan brothers.
Christopher and Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah, Jonathan.
okay.
And they've
there's
done
Nolan
movies
brother.
together too. Like they collaborated on Interstellar. Like that was both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Jonathan gets no credit.
So Phil,
No.
guess,
so Jonathan
guess
Probably
what
the middle
profession
child.
the third brother is in.
Politics.
Before
Close.
you get to that.
Close.
That's good. I don't know.
No? You
Well, I
got-
don't.
you got
That
something else?
was my guess.
What?
I don't know. What?
I don't know.
Huh?
Did you have something else?
No, we're good.
Oh,
What were you- what were you-
political unaliving.
What?
He was in court for political.
Oh. Assassinations?
Yeah. Guess what his
Oh no.
Guess what his name is?
No.
Oppenheimer.
What?
Name one of Nolan's movies.
What?
Are you not following me?
No, I'm so confused. But just say it.
Okay. So the oldest brother, political assassin, went to court. Everything else. His nickname is Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan has a movie called Oppenheimer. So the theory that he made that movie for the same reason that Disney made Frozen. So when you looked up Nolan Oppenheimer.
It would be oh my goodness.
So there's a theory.
Wow. You know what? That's a heck of a coincidence if it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That is a crazy one. We came across that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's more of those too. I didn't write them down or anything, but I saw people are starting to compile lists
of movies that have
movies come out that, like, if you Google something from history, there's a movie that pops up instead of that. Yeah.
Interesting. That does, there's a lot of movies that you just kind of look at and go, how did this get made? Why did this get made? Sorry. Yeah, that too. I do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that gives me indigestion.
No, but seriously, there's a lot of movies that I look at. I'm like, why did that get made? And not like unbelievable, like that turned out all right, but like you just look at the premise of the movie and you're just like,
yeah, what was the reason for that?
What is this?
There's no anniversary for it. There's no.
Yeah.
Why is this?
Why is this movie? Why does this exist? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very.
Where were you going with that, Tanner?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Okay.
I just kicked him off his chair and took over. That's what I do.
So their OpenAI says that they had an AI model that went rogue during testing and escaped into the internet.
Ultron.
And then found its way into other AI and began like wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
And stealing information.
It's Skynet. I've only been calling this since the beginning of this friggin' podcast.
Tron, that's the premise of the Tron movies too.
I've never watched the Tron movies.
Me neither.
So when I was a kid, we had Skateland, and they had a big console TV set up on a huge stand on the edge of the skate, and they played Tron on repeat every night.
Interesting.
For like 15 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's the only movie they ever played on VHS. Not to date myself or anything.
Oh, dude.
You predate air conditioning, so you're at least from the 1800s.
But I did turn 25 the second time today. Second time I've turned 25.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you've turned 25 every day since you've been 25, like a second time every time since you've been 25.
Okay.
You just mean if you reset at 25,
you'd
have hit it again.
25. Yeah. Did you guys
lap 2?
Lap 2.
Did you guys see that case that's going on in Minnesota where the lady got found guilty of disorderly conduct?
Minnesota.
And basically the big debate is between she basically just got found guilty for using the N-word against an immigrant who was filming, trying to provoke her, saying, "Say it, bet you won't say it." And then she said it, and basically, so they're saying it's disorderly conduct to use that word.
Did she hold a
She's
position?
A white girl.
Did she hold a position of any kind?
No. She was at the park, and there was a kid rummaging through their stuff. She got the kid to stop, and then the dude pulled out his camera and began filming her. And and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending her actions by any means.
I'm not saying you should say it, but it's not illegal to say.
It needs to be a thing.
But I have a hard time agreeing that using words that somebody doesn't like is disorderly conduct. Because at that point, if you were to call me
a
white boy, and I don't like being called a white boy, I can now say that's disorderly conduct, and you now are going to go to jail because I didn't like the words.
It feels like there's more to the story because I hear the N-word all the time.
Well, but even still,
matter.
The only way I could see that, and what I'm wondering is if it was in like if she was military. Then military court's different, right?
No,
she could be pulled in for that. But if this is regular, okay. So the First Amendment's pretty freaking clear.
Yeah.
If your speech isn't threatening directly, it's protected. You don't get to charge someone with a crime. Now, it can be an enhancement if there's another crime. If she then like punched him after calling him the N-word, that's a different thing. That then elevates it from assault to its hate crime now. But it can't be a crime on its own. It just can't.
Yeah. Minnesota decided it was.
Shocker.
But here's the thing. It was a jury that convicted her. But
Minnesota.
This one will, just looking at it from everything that I know, I've kind of been following it a little bit. I can't foresee it not getting overturned in a higher court. If it doesn't get overturned, and here's the thing, I know you guys saying there seems like there's more to it, but here's the problem with this case. There's not more to it.
Right.
The problem with it
I'm not saying it sounds like there is. I'm just saying
I know.
if there's not.
Mike was the one who said it.
And harassment on the other side of it too. If he was being antagonistic towards her in the first place,
needs to be more to it.
Right, but that's the problem is that there's really not.
Right.
And again, I'm not defending her in any way, shape, or form. Like the way she acted was like, don't do that.
Yeah, well, it's not illegal to act incorrectly.
But at the same time, though,
but if I give your face and say it,
but even if you weren't, if you didn't say a word, and I just am screaming at you from 6 feet away, telling you all of the things I don't like about you, I have the freedom to do that.
And
like
crazy.
My words.
Yep.
Don't have a cost.
No threat, no crime.
If I and if I'm not threatening, and so
so how threatening was he?
We'll see. Apparently, so this guy just for fun.
Once again, if
facts,
you got up in my face and were like, "Say this, say this,"
just for fun fact, just for fun facts, this guy, he's a Somali immigrant. And he was previously charged with RASAing a 16-year-old, kidnapped her, and held her for 24 hours with no food, and prevented her from running away. She eventually ran away. The case against him eventually was dropped because she aged out of the system in order to try him as a juvenile, and so then eventually the case was dropped. So technically speaking, he wasn't charged for anything in the long run. He didn't serve time for anything, even though he was charged for it. That's the kind of person that this is occurring against, and one way or the other, no matter what. And again, I'm in no way, shape, or form am I trying to defend this lady. I'm not. And if that's your issue, and you're like, how could you defend someone who does that? I'm not defending her. I am defending the freedom of speech in this situation, in which, because it comes down to it, his background doesn't matter her either. Her background doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Neither background matters. The circumstances are what matter. And when you began to try people for disorderly conduct, so
if that's all there is to it, the First Amendment of the Constitution protects her actions. Period.
Yeah.
It just does. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but it does.
And it should. Because
agreed.
The problem.
But I'm just saying you don't have to.
Right, because the freedom of the freedom of speech is important enough, because the hard part is if you begin to say that things or words are a crime, you then have to create a line. And that line begins to become movable.
Yes.
And as soon as the powers that be, the government, decides that that line is no longer here, we're going to move it here for this case. Well, now you go to jail for that. Oh, this case, this normally wouldn't have been across the line, but that one was across the line. So now we're going to move it here. And then eventually you get to the point where if you say anything against the government, if you say anything against the courts, if you say anything against a person, you're now going to jail for that. And that's a slippery slope we don't want to go down.
It's so wild to me. It feels made up, but I'm not saying it's made up, because I have seen other cases in other states where I'm just like, what in the world? what in the world is this jury doing?
And I think this one will end
crazy. It's just wild enough that I'm like,
this one will get
crazy.
This will get overturned. I don't see how it won't.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But anyway, it's one to look at, and again, on the show we do say do your own research, and maybe there is something about the case that even though I've been following it for a while that I did miss. And maybe she did do something that was crossing the limit. And you know this, shoot me a message. Let me know what it is. But either way, it is kind of a concerning one because we're seeing Europe had gone down this path 20 years ago. And seeing where Europe is now, it is interesting to see where we're at. But one more current event I wanted to share.
It's called concept creep. And I've come across the term before, the gradual expansion of the meaning of harm-related psychological and social terms to cover a wider range of milder or qualitatively different experiences.
It's 1984.
It is literally...
in case anybody is trying to... if you're missing that correlation, it is literally 1984.
Let's move it a little bit further.
Let's move it a bit
further. Okay, now words are harmful.
Yep.
Now,
It's newspeak and it's wrong think.
Yep.
That rhymed.
All right. So I have one more... I just have a story that was kind of cool that doesn't have anything to do with current events or anything like that before we started talking about the episodes and stuff. But yesterday I was on TikTok, and I randomly had this guy pop in.
Phil,
and his,
listen up.
I'll just say his name started with a T, and
Mr. T.
he immediately goes, Tanner, is that you? And I was like, okay, he's using my government name. I don't have my government name available on TikTok at all because it is a podcast. I've branded it as though I am
BAB.
I'm
Right.
biblically
You're
accurate.
Bigfoot.
I'm Bigfoot.
You are Bigfoot.
On TikTok, and even everybody who
We've found the
I know
answer. You're Bigfoot.
I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've got listeners who
this is Bigfoot.
we've got a lot of listeners who listen to the show that they found us through TikTok, and so they know me as Bigfoot.
Uh-huh.
And so I've even had some of them ask, like, well, how did you get the nickname Bigfoot? And I'm like, you just gave it to me. Sorry. I wasn't Bigfoot. But on TikTok, I am. And so I was like, okay, this dude's using my government name. That's, hi. And he's like, you don't remember me, do you? And I was like, how do I have reference for who you are? You don't use your name on your profile. And I was like, and your pictures. I was like,
your name and I should know you. We'll see.
I was like, your picture doesn't show your face. Like, I was like, how do I know? And he's like, oh, I went to football, or I played football at Shattering. And I was like, play football at Shattering? So then I'm looking at his profile, and literally it came to my brain. Nothing on his profile indicated who he was. It came to my brain. And I was like,
I can't text it.
Anyway,
or say
I've
it.
I've already texted you the name, but so I'll text it again. But anyway, I'm not gonna say his name just because I don't want to have to go through and edit it.
Oh, okay.
But because then I have to write it down. But anyway, so I was like, "Hey, dude, is that you?" And he's like, "Hey, you do remember me?" And and he goes. And conversation goes on for a little bit, and so basically he says,
Kinda.
You wouldn't know this, but you said something to me one night at Chi Alpha, and I didn't know what to do with it at the time, but years down the road, I became a Christian,
Nice.
and that word resonated with me, and I've never been able to let it go, and it just stuck with me.
Do you remember that night?
night. Yes, I do.
Of that night?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
You
I don't
were a
remember the
student
exact...
And you were key that night.
I remember the night. I don't remember what the thing was exactly, but...
It was a cold night at Chi Alpha, and we only had
We almost didn't have service.
3 or 4 students showed up. It was just tiny.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you know what? Let's just have fun with this. I was like, somebody, and I felt like God kind of prompted me, and I was like, I need a volunteer, somebody to go out into the lobby and drag somebody back to service tonight, just for fun, see what happens.
Yeah.
And you jumped up excited, and I was concerned because
that
would
wasn't me.
Never volunteer for that. You skipped out of the room, and I looked at Courtney, and I was like, what was that? And you went out and you brought him and 2 friends back.
Yep, I remember that.
And And then you had told me later on that you felt like God was telling you to go out and bring people back to Chi Alpha that night,
which is why you were prancing.
Yeah.
Because it was a confirmation of something.
Frolicking.
You felt like that God was prompting you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into the details of what I said to him because I feel like that's something for him.
But they stayed and sat through the whole service, and you
sat
preached.
through the whole service, and I said something specifically to him, and it was specific for him, and yeah. Long story short,
he's one that I kind of wondered how.
Right?
How
same. I think we had just talked about him a couple of weeks ago. I feel like. Because I talked about, I was like, "Do you remember that night?" And I was like, "I always wonder what happened to those guys."
You've retold that story quite often, especially when talking about like listening to the voice of God and like being obedient to getting
and you never
words
get
of
to
knowledge,
know,
and sometimes you never get to know.
Yeah,
and sure enough, this dude's, and I'm not gonna share any details about him.
How many years later?
Yeah, just randomly ran into him. And so looking at his profile, we don't have any mutual friends. He doesn't follow anybody that I am associated with. I just showed up on his FYP when he was scrolling.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
While he was working.
Yeah. He just was quick scrolling. He was like, "Whoa, wait, I know this guy." And sure enough, and I was like, "Dude," and so I followed him.
So I was
like,
back. Tanner,
I haven't.
Track.
I say I'm
keep tabs on.
I told him I'm going to message. I haven't messaged him yet, but I was like, I'm going to message you because I want to hear about your life. Because I care. I was like, I don't know. You won't even know this. How many times I prayed for you
over a decade?
I've been praying for you for 10 years. Yes, and but yeah, it literally made my whole week. It was such a cool experience.
Dude, that's awesome.
It goes to show that sometimes it's like in our ministry,
rationalize it. Sometimes and you can't just like explain it away.
And this is something that I'm with everything going on in Chi Alpha and with my job and everything. There's something that I want to get to a more normal is that you can't fully grasp what your ministry, the impact of your ministry based off of the numbers you have showing up on a random night.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean? Like that night we only had 3 students who showed up that night because I remember it was like negative 25 degrees out and we were wrestling with whether we wanted to cancel service, but I made the decision. I was like, if the student center is open, we'll show up. Student center happened to be open, we showed up. This is before we had kids, because if we had kids, I might have gone alone and that's it. But and so I was like, even if at the very least we'll just hang out, Mm-hmm. And it just turned into an impactful night. And now that night, like that moment resonated,
dude.
Became a part of his testimony.
Getting to know that is enough for this podcast to have been worth it. Yeah. Like everything. Yeah. Like if nothing else ever came out of this, just getting to know that is worth all of it. Because you wouldn't have been doing that live if this.
I wouldn't have done a live. Yeah.
See, when you first started saying the last thing you were saying, Tanner, you were like something that I want to normalize, and I was like, I hope you're not saying that you want to normalize these types of occurrences, because I hope they continue to like surprise us and like get us excited. Not like, it's just extraordinary, it happens all the time. I don't want to get used to that, because God is like wonderful and unexpected every single day. So
exactly, but that experience I'm gonna reach out to him and hopefully have a conversation with him a little further and just hear about how his life is going. But it's cool. It was very unexpected, and I had almost ended the live because I had done my time, and for some reason I stayed on, and we just but anyway, it was really cool. That said, the going to the episode,
you had his name on a prayer list for a long time after that. I remember
long time.
So, that's crazy.
So. Switching into a little bit, because like I said, this episode is just all over the place. We didn't really have direction. We just wanted us to vibe and have fun. I found another 1880s thing. I found quite a few 1880s things, but since we're going to do an episode on the 1880s, I don't want to reveal everything. But I found that's going to be
a really good episode when we do it.
It is. I found one thing that I felt interesting that I'm just going to let linger, and then I want to start talking about like the episodes that we remember that were the impactful ones. But in 1984 to 1980 or 1884, sorry, not 19. 1884 to 1885, that is when the European powers divided Africa amongst themselves. they began drawing their own borders, and those borders still impact the countries in Africa to today.
It's crazy that they just did that. They're just like, yeah, we own this whole thing now, by the way.
This is ours.
This is yours, this is mine, that's yours. This is, yeah.
Wow. I mean,
that was in
England
1884.
has done that for so long with every continent.
Yeah.
I just feel like they have less presence there. Like physical presence there than they do in a lot of other places.
And
like,
this was all of the European powers dividing it.
Right. Right.
Something that they knew. This isn't a new land.
That wasn't even Great Britain.
This wasn't something that they quote unquote discovered.
No.
This was land that they knew Africa was there. And
they didn't colonize.
That was when
they just said we own it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you
there were
South Africa.
Sure, there's parts of it, but like overall, like the fact that they just split the whole continent up, they're just like, yep, that's yours, this is mine. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's called the Berlin Conference.
That's hilarious.
Wild, right? Somebody
be like us getting together and being like, hey, listen, Southeast Shadron, I'm going to go ahead and claim all that.
Yeah.
So you guys do your thing. That's mine.
That's kind of my territory.
I'm taking north. I'm taking the north. Everything north of 8th Street is mine.
Yo, that's a
Did
big
you just
chunk.
throw on your Donald Trump
Yes,
voice?
I did.
Mine. Okay.
Mine.
Beautiful country there.
It's the best part of town.
Doesn't get
You
any
guys don't even know. I got the whole Southeast Quadrant on lockdown. It's mine. Up to the college. It's my college. It's the best college.
I think Phil wins.
Phil has the better one of all.
You have the best accent. It's the best.
Yeah,
My accents are always great. They're the best.
That song, it was fun writing the song for the episode because I literally just went through and episode titles and was like reminiscing a little bit of just cool things. Yeah, the very first episode is Bigfoot a Nephilim? And to this day, we haven't 100 episodes later, and we still have no answer and no further advancement on that, because in that episode, I feel like is when we really started questioning, like, what is an evil spirit? What is a demon? You know, where do we draw these lines? And we're still like in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord,
I just saw.
We just were talking about that again. And so 2 years later, and we're still actively talking about.
That's a pretty good piece of evidence to suggest that that's not a question that we get to know the answer to.
Yeah,
no,
right.
And I know we know that. We're aware of that. Right. But like, I just think that's a very clear indication of like anybody that's like, man, you guys still haven't figured that out. It's like, I don't think we're going to. It's just fun to talk about and discuss, and it's interesting, and it can provoke a lot of thought. An investigation into other areas that are important that you might be able to get answers in.
But I also think embracing that we don't know is kind of important, because
yes, for sure.
Prior to doing this show and prior to some of the research I had started doing prior to doing this show, I was always just full blown under the impression that just demons were fallen angels and that's all there was to it. There's nothing else there. There's nothing else special. It's just there's demons and they were once angels and that is it. And now, even just through just what we already know from scripture, when it talks about principalities, and it's like, what is a principality?
Yeah.
It's clearly there's more to it than just demons, because it would have just said we battle against demons.
Right.
It just would have said that. So clearly, the Bible, even within the Bible, we do know at least some.
There's more to it.
That there is more to it. We just don't know what is what and where they draw the line and what becomes what.
It's crazy.
But we know that there are the rulers and the principalities, and what is a principality, and it's really intriguing.
Something that I go into in my book is like the word shadim, which is like, it's one of the words for demon and stuff in the Bible, but looking back to how it's used, I think whatever I saw said that it's only actually used twice in the Bible, and both times it's talking about people would worship the shadim. And so, and then looking into it as far as like, it made it sound like worshiping like other gods that are not God, like idolatry,
right?
But it's like where there are actual demons behind the other gods that they were worshiping, like that kind of,
Yeah.
So,
I feel like anime nerds should love the Bible because like there's so much like power scaling availability.
Yeah.
Like there's so much you can do in that, and like that's their jam. That's most of their bread and butter is just like well, this hero like this one is like way more powerful than this one. Like you can dive into so much in there. Like there's so much room for discussion, debate on that.
There's a guy who takes like biblical characters and he goes in the gym and he uses the Bible to try to figure out what their max bench would have been. It's great. It's so
That's
funny
amazing.
to have him hash that out, like based on the evidence that's in the Bible. How much could this person have potentially benched? What was their max bench? What was their PR? You know, and stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Well, I think we all know who wins, unless you're counting Jesus because he's, that's that's a different class.
Yeah.
But I think Samson's got to be numero uno, right?
Well, and when he did the Samson one, I want to say he did the Samson one before and after the haircut.
Oh yeah.
It was funny. But yeah.
Well, there was that one, that one thing after the haircut that was kind of pretty insane,
Oh, yeah.
Does that count as a complete rep? Because he died in the process.
Failed rep.
Failed successfully. Gosh. So some of our most listened to episodes. So we had the Untamed, the Appalachian Mountain Pharaoh people. That one was fun because I learned a lot about the Appalachians in that. And
after we had been there.
yeah, that was kind of cool.
I'm going to throw one out that I don't know if everybody's going to really remember much of. Tanner, it was just you and me. The Peruvian face peelers.
I was just looking back through episode titles and I'm like,
that one's a little bit newer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Have we considered the possibility that could be related to the cattle mutilations in the Dulce base?
Oh.
Yes. Not on the show, but yes.
Okay.
So
there's enough similarities.
And the crazy thing is, like, my brain always kind of goes
the ant people and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it would be like the Amazon's version of the underground Dulce bases. It's kind of, as we did Dulce base, I was kind of thinking that. I didn't even ever brought it back up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like realistically, I don't see it being anything other than our shadow, like government, whatever, secret,
Sure.
black ops, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't foresee the face peelers being anything other than that.
Well,
Like,
how far is it? Because where exactly is the Dulce base again? It's
New Mexico.
It's in New Mexico, but what part is it?
Northern.
Northern? Okay, so it's probably not quite as close as Area 51 would be, but it's a little further east. So, I mean, it's pretty much a straight shot south. It's probably like the furthest south, like major, like base type thing that
what if
the U.S. would have to Peru.
What if we mapped out these alleged bases?
You would get a visit from a gray man.
Then they lined up with like a constellation or star system.
Okay, so that is not even anywhere close to a straight shot south, because the way that South America offsets from
is it further
North
east?
America?
Yeah, it's a bit further east. So okay,
because I remember leaving Atlanta, flying to Chile, and it was in the same time zone.
Okay.
And Peru is just a little bit west of that, so it'd be more like.
Do you have a phone charger?
Yeah. So we but yeah, anyways, it's plugged in right here.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't be straight south, but
it'd still be closer than Area 51.
But that's the thing, though, is that the map. I mean, just who's to say you don't just turn the direction a little bit sideways?
Well, I've seen a lot of recent
and
like supposed evidence that
it would go straight,
even close to accurate.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, it depends on what map you're using too.
Yeah.
Like everything is different. Like you can't lay a sphere out onto a flat surface and have it come out nicely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
There's
just
no
a
way.
disaster.
Yeah.
So we just stick with the Mercator projection, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
Well, when you look at a globe, it almost looks like 50-50 north and south, and the Earth isn't like that. Most everything is north, and then it's mostly ocean in the south.
Yeah. You know. Well, yeah, the Pacific is freaking massive.
Huge.
Yeah,
it is insanely huge.
The only landmass that is in the south, really, outside of Antarctica, is Australia, the southern third of Africa,
yeah,
and then most of South
a good
America.
chunk of South America, yeah. But like the gap between Africa and South America going east, like it's insane.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
Yep. Yeah, the bulk of the landmass is in North America.
There's definitely some stuff in that chunk of ocean that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Maybe like the ancestors of the Loch Ness Monster or descendants.
Or the Leviathan.
Scowy.
Scowy.
Subnautica playos going
the next big episode that we had, and I'm just kind of going through our most listens, was what did they find under the pyramids? We haven't heard anything more about that.
No, it just went away.
Well, no, it didn't go away. It just stopped getting covered.
Yeah,
they started doing the LiDAR stuff on other stuff. They started finding things underneath the pyramids in America.
Yeah.
And Mexico, South America, and the Americas.
It's always blown my mind that history has always talked about the Egyptian pyramids, but the Mexican pyramids and the South American pyramids hardly ever get brought up because they found those too.
I think there's a few reasons for
the
that.
Mexican people, they found those and just like upgraded them.
Yeah. So I think a couple reasons for that are, one, the ones in Egypt are just more visible because it's on sand and not in like jungle or mountains.
Yeah.
Like it's just there and visible.
Phil, have you seen the theory of that the New York subway tunnels that in New York they found those? That they didn't.
The tunnels?
They didn't construct them. That they found them.
I don't know if I've seen that theory or not.
Conspiracy theory.
It's crazy.
Interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that
because there's only a year or two from when they announced that they were going to have subways to when it was completely constructed, and there's like no way that they had the digging technology to build those tunnels that fast. So those tunnels had to have already been there. Crazy,
creepy.
Anyway,
interesting,
weird underground stuff.
The next big episode we had was the dire wolf one. Ooh. So something I found after we did the Skinwalker Ranch episode.
Same.
That one of the wolves that they found on the property that was dead, they did DNA discovery on it, and its closest matching ancestor would have been a dire wolf.
Yeah, I did see that.
Nuts.
Yeah, it was a carcass. And they pulled some DNA from the carcass.
On Skinwalker Ranch, they found a dire wolf basically on
like,
Skinwalker Ranch.
Huge. What is this? And they sent it for analysis, and that was the closest match.
And so them saying that this wolf was like ginormous, seems a lot less far fetched now that they've since they did that.
Yeah,
I didn't find that during my research. That was just recently. I found that
within the last week that I saw that.
And I don't know when they tested it, but it was
like I said, Red's probably sitting there going, "How'd you miss that?"
It was a few years ago. Yeah,
that crew that's doing the research there now has only been there for 3 years? 4 years.
So it had been recent.
It's a brand new crew that is analyzing everything.
And we kind of did the history of versus like current Skinwalker Ranch. We could always go back and do the
what's happening now.
Current Skinwalker Ranch. When we talk about the Stardust Ranch and the Blind Frog Creek Ranch and the Bradshaw Ranch, we could do a current event.
Yeah.
Skinwalker. That would be cool. But okay, so that was the next big episode, and then we had the Pope prophecy.
Okay.
That this next pope is going to be the last pope.
Gotcha.
So far, this newest pope, he has said some sketchy things. Mm-hmm. So he's been really trying to work towards, he wants to unite the Catholic Church with the Eastern Orthodox Church as one church again. Mm-hmm. The Orthodox Church is like, we still don't recognize you as the Pope. and he's like, we can work around that.
That's okay.
That's all right. We can fix this. Oh, man. It's too funny.
Eastern Orthodox.
Your approval is not needed for this.
The next big one was Tartaria.
Yeah.
Tartaria, since doing the Tartaria stuff,
still comes back.
I am more and more convinced that a actual country, city, something named Tartaria did exist.
Yeah.
In near Russia.
My only question is, how advanced was Tartaria?
And that's what we don't know.
Was it as advanced as like the stories say, or was it? Because I have no doubt that it was an actual place.
Right.
So why?
It's the how advanced it is the thing that I'm.
Yeah. What other reason would there be? And this is a genuine question. This is not rhetorical. What other reason would there be for them to just lie and say it wasn't real?
When we looked at the document, because we found documents,
they hated them.
We found documents that Russia was trying to
they
erase
hated all kinds of places,
and
that they
part of it was because they couldn't figure out their technology. If I remember right, they couldn't figure out what they were looking at, and so they deleted it to give them time to try and figure out what the technology was. That's one of the theories. But yeah, there was no doubt that they completely just erased it from history books.
Yeah, it's just gone, and they're acting like it doesn't exist, and you're crazy for thinking it did.
Yeah,
and it's just like, why? For what reason?
Yeah, and they've lumped so many other conspiracies into it to make it sound far. And that's another thing.
Yeah.
I think since doing Tartaria, I am more and more convinced that when something is true, the powers that be
push
lump
back harder and
more conspiracy into it to make it. It's the Alex Jones effect.
Make it seem more crazy.
They make it seem crazy so that if you even believe any of it, you're crazy for believing any of it.
Yeah.
When the reality is, I feel like we can...
It's almost always more nuanced. It's the same approach that I take to law enforcement stuff, like when I have to investigate something where one party's saying one thing and another party's saying another thing. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But one of you is like clearly acting more like...
Yeah.
Bad, like just weird, and that's usually the person that's lying more.
Yeah.
Or the person who's trying to over-explain.
Yes.
I found that in my years of dealing with adolescents.
Yeah, the
harder you try to explain yourself,
when they embellish. Yeah, the more they embellish, and like that's always the person that's not as calm. The person who's calm and just goes like, well, this is what happened, ABC, whatever. Yeah. Do what you got to do.
I'm teaching kids to deal with bullying. That's one thing that I teach them. I said, I said, if you feel like you need to sit there and protest and argue with what they're saying about you, you're going to start to look like whatever they're saying is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The more you protest, the more it looks like you're the one who's full of beans.
No, I don't have a crush on Sarah. No, I don't. Yeah. I do not.
Methinks. You just go, interesting theory. Walk away.
Methinks
nobody
the CIA doth protest too much.
Phil, why do you think the old Smithsonian's looking at building a place here in Nebraska?
Have you guys seen
Probably because of us.
That would be. I know we joked about they were coming out here.
I wonder, there's a lot of geological stuff out here that just doesn't get talked about very often.
Yeah.
You wonder if they might have, run into something that weren't supposed to.
Found something that they're like,
that's a awfully big humanoid femur you got there.
And accidentally misplaced
it. We could dig 73 levels into the ground here.
Oh no, the aquifer crap. No, well. R.I.P. Nebraska.
Right.
Oh, it was just the data center. Don't worry about.
Right.
That was what took all the water.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Did you see? Phil, did you see they're talking about Sarah Connor in Terminator?
Yeah.
Sent to an insane asylum for trying to blow up data centers. I was like, we are what year? Where in the store? Where in the Terminator are we right now?
Yeah,
Skynet is happening.
There was that one dude who got arrested for holding a sign in front of the flock camera.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, he can't go to jail for it because it is not a government camera. Mm-hmm. What they're charging him with is basically indicating that it is a government camera, and we'll see how that plays out, because the problem that I'm seeing isn't that our laws don't protect against this stuff. It's that they are now ignoring our laws in order to prosecute this stuff. And that's where the problem is, because they're saying, oh, these laws don't protect against this. And it's like, no, they literally do. That's literally what they're there for.
Ignoring laws in order to build data centers.
Speaking about ignoring laws, the next biggest episode we had was the dark history of NASA and Operation Paperclip. That has come back a lot since we did it. There is so much influence that Operation Paperclip has had in forming our current circumstances.
Okay, thought that just popped in my head. All right, so NASA, I mean, everybody questions, this is the big question with NASA, why did they switch from underwater, to looking at the stars, right? And we just talked about underground stuff. What if they're having us look at the stars so we're not paying attention to what they're doing on the ground? Or underground.
I find it interesting that they would acknowledge that we know more about space than we do about our ocean. If that was the case,
I don't know.
But not discounting the possibility. I just it's an interesting tactic. Because typically they're like, look over here, not at this. Look over here.
That's what makes me think, like, why are they a space organization when there's so much down here that?
Because our future isn't in the ocean.
Yeah,
I mean that's the realistic, like. I mean,
we all know
rational.
Gerald is He's running the ocean.
Yeah, Gerald's got that on lock. He's like, he's the mob boss of the Atlantic. Wonder who's the mob boss of the Pacific. They don't want us to know. Gerald's outgrown his britches. He's taking over too much territory. They don't like him anymore.
Oh, she got him. Okay. Yeah, so one of our lowest viewed videos, I think it's interesting to talk about the lowest.
Lowest listened to episodes or viewed videos?
One of our lowest viewed or listened to episodes, sorry. Good call. Good catch. One of our lowest listened to episodes
medical
is
industry.
The Maxwell family.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one is one, I think that one got shadowed. I think it got shadowed hard because there's less people that have listened to that one than the medical one, and that one came out months ago. Because as you know, like everybody, like the older the episode, the more views it's going to have,
right?
Because people don't just listen to new stuff. They'll like there's people who start at the beginning and make their way to the new. There's people who go and they listen to the newest, and then they'll go back and listen to old episodes, and so. It kind of roughly scales. It's like, But anyway, the Maxwell one came out long enough ago that it should have significantly more listens than it does. And that one, if you don't know what happened in that episode was links everything from like Operation Paperclip to the modern Jeffrey Einstein stuff and back to the Mossad and
back to the school
curriculums, and it connects. That episode is a major connector between
I was going to say
lot of other episodes.
That episode is one of the biggest like red yarn drawing board or like bulletin board things. Like that one that tied a lot of stuff together.
Absolutely, it did
in a way that I'm sure they do not like.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a crazy episode too, because I feel like I learned a lot in that episode about just where we're at, and I think for me, the biggest episodes that have changed me, because this podcast, it's changed me. Like, I do not view the world the same before we started it.
Same.
Like, my worldview is so different. The episodes
feels like I've been here. No.
The episodes that have shook my foundation the most. And so if you're looking for a go listen to, if you want your worldview just shattered, the episodes that messed me up the most were obviously the MK Ultra ones, the Operation Paperclip one, the Finders. The Finders, that one, do you guys remember the Finders?
Yeah.
The Finders was where the FBI found something that the CIA was doing, and then the CIA shut it down. And it has, we'll just say it has ties and connections to the underground SEX cult that we now are seeing kind of come into modern view. The Finders...
Secret societies were pretty big.
All the Manson episodes, which those are all kind of tied in with the MK Ultra stuff. That one jacked up my worldview most, and just because like of the weird possible connection to our family that might be there. Right. You know, it's like it's very hypothetical. We don't know, but because we found that, we started learning about some of the things that our mom did with like hypnotizing us and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, on that note, Stargate messed me up
a little bit.
Stargate messed me up.
Did it?
That freaked me out.
Yeah.
Crazy. Because that one wasn't so much a worldview changer as just like how I view
the world.
But not like, that is like the clever but like good way to put it is like how you view reality, which has always kind of freaked me out, like just like the things that make up the fabric of our reality, and like the idea of being able to manipulate those, like movies that touch on that and games that touch on that, like always those are always some freaky ones, and that kind of like pushed the or blurred the line between what you would consider probably fiction and what is real. I didn't like that.
Because that was kind of tied with the gateway stuff and the gate.
Did I say Stargate? I meant gateway. Gateway, Stargate, gate.
In
program.
My mind, those episodes all blend into each other. Yeah,
the gates of hell.
Those ones did affect me. Part of it is just asking the why. Like, why were we in these weird programs?
That was some full-blown psychological horror in the real world.
Well, and in the Discord, another promo for the Discord. In the Discord, there's people who like legit are like starting to look into their families' attendance in those gifted and talented programs and stuff.
Yeah,
and so. Dude, if you want, there's been some cool conversations that have come out about that in the Discord. But no, I agree with you. The Matrix episodes, because I did one with you, and then we did one with Mike, and that one just aired, right? So last week's episode,
I haven't listened to
it. Those ones have been interesting. I feel like those episodes have affected my worldview for the better, in the sense that like the concept of the simulation theory is intriguing, but the implications of it are so small, because if this is a simulation, it would be a simulation that God created,
right? And
so therefore, it is the real world, because it's as real of a world as we could get.
It's not a distraction world.
Yeah.
It's functionally real. It's at worst.
If it were a simulation, it's still functionally and has consequences.
Yes. Yes.
But if it's and I think I was always afraid of the simulation theory, because I never wanted to approach it, because the mathematics of it make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
The mathematics of like, it's, if either civilizations get to the point where they no longer create historical simulations that have artificial intelligence within them. 2 is that civilizations always die out before they can create true artificial intelligence within a simulation. Or 3, we are living in a simulation. One of those has to be true.
Simulation, it supports the young world theory too. That the world's only thousands of years old. That because if you created a game with simulations, AI simulations in it, you're not going to create a game where everything's starting from scratch.
Right.
You're going to start in an era. You
would
run from there with the people already, some adults already, and things like that already in there.
Well, the player will start in the era, but the game itself doesn't.
Civilizations and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and I've always said that with like when God created Adam and Eve, did he create them as though they were brand new day one newborns? Mm-hmm. Or did he create them ready to hit the world as adolescents or whatever. So then, when God created the world, did He create it as a functional, ready-to-go world? Or did He create it as though it was day one and there was nothing on the earth other than, rock and water?
Interesting. Yep.
It's
always interesting.
In that case, it would have been a perfect layer of water over a perfect layer of rock.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, Courtney? What were some of the most significant moments for you? Phil said, I've said.
I mean, I have kind of spoken up a little bit, but
I know.
I don't know.
But I'm specifically intentionally going, and Mike will go next.
Turn.
Or Mike can go and you can think about it for a minute.
I got you.
Go.
So, like, something that
changed your worldview.
There was nothing, I don't think, that really changed my worldview a whole lot, because I'm constantly trying, even before conspiracy stuff, I'm always trying to figure stuff out, and even in my own mind, why did I take these tests? Why am I doing this? Self-fulfilling prophecies and manifestations and all the weird stuff that your brain does, changed memories, things like that have always fascinated me anyway since I was a little kid, because I kind of wrap my mind around those things. Dreams, connected dreams, recurring dreams, have always fascinated me anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know that anything kind of blew my mind. What did blow my mind, actually? Let me think about this, because when, the Nuremberg trials, that kind of blew my historical, reference for that. Because you always think, the world that it ended and they had these trials and made everything right. And then you figure out that that's not how big government works. That's not
right.
We distract you and then we do all this stuff.
Dude,
to keep things rolling the way we want it to go.
For real, though. Yeah, discovering that they only actually, that they only put, sentence people, what was it, 12 people?
Yeah. And it changed how I approach any kind of news that comes across too, because now even this episode I'm doing that. There's something in the news, I'm questioning everything. Is this a distraction for something? Is there more to the story?
Yeah.
What is really going? If this is what they're telling us, there's got to be something else going on.
Right.
Either with it or at its expense.
Right.
And that's the way I approach things now since we've started doing this show is if there's something big in the news, I always take a step back and be like, okay, is this the big story, or is there something else that I'm missing?
Right.
What am I getting distracted from?
What is the distraction?
What is really, what else is going on?
Well, and that's, at this point, the Jeffrey Einstein stuff had to have just been a distraction, because nothing has happened.
Yeah.
How have those files came out and nothing happened? The only way is that they released them knowing they weren't going to do anything about it to distract us from something else that was happening.
Well, and that's with
it's the only excuse. I don't know.
The fancy ball with all the elites there, and they know nothing's going to happen.
They don't care.
They're running things. They're the ones who decide if things happen. And being on this show, you start to realize that the movers and shakers of the world at large, they're going to do what they need to do anyway.
Yeah.
And I just need to be happy and just live my life, and just be happy. I can talk about it, we can have fun with it, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let this craziness ruin me.
It's important to understand, I think, or it's good to understand the way that the world works, but you also know who's really in control.
Yeah.
That's true. Above that.
Yeah.
It ain't them. Yeah. They can, they have control over things, but there's a higher power than that. Yeah. And so I think that's a good attitude to take, is just well, they can do what they want. That's not going to really affect me for the most part.
Yeah.
Other than just in this,
and that trust and that faith in knowing that no matter how much power they have, they don't really have that much power.
Yep.
In the big picture of things. In the big picture of things. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
There's a line from
my favorite episode, though, is when we can crack the overcarbonated drink. That's still my favorite. Just energy drinks everywhere.
Splattered everywhere. Yeah, it was pretty great. That was pretty great.
Oh man, too funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
So one thing that is intriguing to me on that I had just recently discovered with the Jeffrey Einstein thing is that so we've talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, and she was his longtime romantic and associate, right?
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize that the person who inherited what would be left of Einstein's estate was a different woman, and her name is never really mentioned in the
So
world.
again, is Ghislaine, is she a smokescreen? You know,
Right.
we don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know, and maybe we'll never know. But we can question, and we can speculate, and we can come up with theories.
So it would be his girlfriend. So, Karina Shuliak. She was a Belarusian dentist and Einstein's final romantic partner, who was reported to be the last person he called before he died. Oh, yes, that's what it was. Sorry. I just remembered something. Okay, so this lady, so her name, this is something I recently discovered. I was doing some more research on this. Karina Shuliak. So Einstein was allowed to make one final call, and he called her. She was who he called. But the people in charge of the prison allowed it to be an off-record call, and they're not supposed to do that.
Oh, right.
So we don't have a record of Einstein's last call to this person who has somehow evaded being in the news.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about. But yeah,
And again, that's public knowledge. It's not like popular knowledge, but it's public knowledge, and it's just crazy that like they don't care that you know that.
yeah.
To be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And she gets to inherit his quote unquote estate, and they're going to allow his estate to go to somebody. Like what? Like,
Right.
I think at that point, once your crimes are crimes against humanity at that point, I don't get how your estate is allowed to do anything other than be absolved
Yeah.
Yeah.
completely.
Public
But-
auction. Donated
Crazy.
to families.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that was the world, and there's something that I think has affected me a lot that I didn't realize was before starting the podcast, I thought the whole like shadow ban thing was kind of a stretch.
Yeah, like
And
an
we kind of
excuse for
we played into it early on, kind of as a fun like we're being careful.
Yeah.
And then seeing posts that I made on social media get shadow banned, and then starting to look stuff up, and then recently YouTube has come out and admitted that when the COVID stuff was coming around, Einstein, all of these terms, they admitted that they would shadow ban things that said those words too much.
Right.
And then they were like, oh, but don't worry, we don't do it anymore. And so we were supposed to be like, oh, yay, we can say what we want.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
they quietly admitted that. So instead it was, we're no longer doing this. And people were like, yay, they're no longer doing this. But the reality of it is they admitted that they
No
were
longer
doing
need
it.
to.
I don't drug kidnap and kill people anymore.
We didn't tell Phil. So we were on TikTok, messaging on TikTok, the two of us, and just like trading theories and stuff and videos. And my TikTok popped up a link at the bottom that said, if you are having thoughts of harming yourself, here is a link, blah, blah, blah. And then sent him one that said, hey, if the person you're talking to if you're feeling like they might harm themselves, here is a number you can call, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, so listen.
Or if I'm
something
concerned
happens
about
to
them,
me-
report them.
Yeah, if you're concerned about them. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Like, I didn't even say anything about self-harm. Like, it was crazy. I was like, oof, that's scary. Yeah. So I was like, right away, listen. I got on the live and I was like, listen, if something happens, it wasn't me.
I'm trying to remember. Did we already talk about the caution thing that TikTok's been doing on certain videos?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
I don't think we talked about it.
I wasn't sure
So-
if you had already mentioned it.
I have.
We talked about it at some point. You and I
made
did
a
with
video.
somebody.
Yeah, I made a video about it. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't sure if you talked about it on an episode.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
And the video
So the
had
video-
the warning on it too. That was hilarious.
The video I created.
Well, it was 3 separate warnings.
So it was a video, just to understand where this is. It was a video that included Ian Carroll, Joe Rogan, and President J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Or
Vice
Vice President J.D. Vance.
Whoa. Careful
Whoops,
with that.
time traveler slip.
On this video, when you're watching it, and literally all it did is it said this conversation happened between these two people. And one of those two people is our vice president.
Yeah.
And then it just showed the conversation.
Right.
It didn't. Then the video, I watched the whole thing, and it was okay, but it didn't explicitly state new information. It just said this conversation exists. And at the very top, right before the video starts, there's a warning that you have to exit out of that says, check your sources before sharing, just to watch the video. Then, when you go to share the video, a new alert pops up, separate from the other one, that is a giant warning with the triangle with the exclamation mark in it, bold letters, red and black, and it says, consider the accuracy of what you're sharing. Remember to check the information in this video with reliable sources. Learn more in our safety center. And then a giant button that says cancel, and then small underneath it, share anyway.
Yep.
So, you know,
There's
me,
2.
I click share anyway. Then it goes, I clicked on one person to share it with, and it blurs everybody else out, and it says, sharing limited to one chat at a time. This is to help limit the spread
Crazy.
of potentially harmful content. Okay? I then shared it to one person. I then went back and I shared it to another person. I then went back to share it with a third person, and I got a new warning that said, you have reached the sharing limit. This is to help limit and spread of possibly harmful content. You are not allowed to share this video anymore.
Harmful content.
Crazy.
I was not allowed to share the video anymore, and there's not a time limit on that. When I go back, it is still banned me from sharing that content anymore. So I created a new video that just had screenshots of TikTok's censorship.
Yep.
And TikTok censored the video with the same thing.
Yep. Because when he sent it to me, the video of the pictures of censorship, it gave me the same.
I've seen it on a couple now. I've seen it on. There was another video that was completely unrelated to any of that also had it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's
So we should all go onto TikTok and then blow that TikTok up.
blow it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the crazy thing. And again, we kind of go back to
banned.
you for real. And I was gonna say that's the thing about TikTok that I'm discovering as quote unquote I'm considered a creator on TikTok now.
Yeah.
Because I have enough followers and I'm in the like creator, the creator network and like all that stuff. So I'm considered a creator. That my goodness, I got a warning because what did I do? I posted a picture with a product in it to advertise, and it was like, you can't post pictures to advertise in your thing, and you're now restricted, and viewership is restricted from your posts.
It's crazy the restrictions are going on. Somebody sent me a picture of them at the gym.
You're not allowed to do that, apparently.
Drinking from an Insane Labs cup, because they were talking about the new hydration product, and so they sent me a picture of them taking a drink from their Insane Labs mixer bottle, and it blurred it and covered it, saying this might not be appropriate. Click on it if you want to see it. And I was like, what the heck?
Dude.
Like, of course I click on it.
Yeah.
And it's
you-
just somebody
Tanner,
just
were you
drinking
talking
out of
about-
a mixer.
You were trying to make like you were trying to actively advertise for it, and then like whatever the brand was on there, and then it said that you can't.
You're
do
not
that,
allowed to do that. So
even though
apparently
it was a part of your
Right. So and apparently within TikTok, and I've now learned this, but this wasn't obviously information that was provided to me, that advertisements for products that are on the TikTok shop
all have to be videos.
They have to be videos.
That's crazy.
Unless you are the creator. If it's your product, you can do pictures. Like, what difference does that make? I don't know. It's weird.
I can do pictures.
Instagram doesn't have that
but you're also not in the creator network or whatever. I can post pictures. I just can't have.
Instagram
they can't have products in them. Yeah, it's crazy. And then there's so many.
I'm considered a
rules.
music creator, so they kind of let me post whatever I want most of the time.
When it's your content, you have more freedom.
They have pulled the sound from my own videos before though. Like if I put out something beforehand, they'll pull my sound and say
somebody said on the original JD Vance thing. Somebody said this wasn't a problem when China owned TikTok.
How ironic, right? Oh man,
it's completely ran by AI though. There's nobody behind the wheel right now, man.
Oh, I guarantee
it's just
well, and that's a fact because
it's the Wild West.
So on TikTok, and this is a whole world that I found myself in on accident. I joined a creator network. Which is, so when you make money on TikTok, you only get a certain percentage of what you make. So like if you send a gift to somebody, they get like 40% of the proceeds of that gift. From the other 60%, if you join a creator network, that creator network gets a portion of the other 60%. And then they're supposed to provide you with resources and stuff like that. If you have a video that gets banned or has a violation on it, if you're a part of a creator network, they have instant access to appeal your violation, and it gets looked at immediately, and then if it's overturned immediately. If you are not a part of a creator network, you could wait for up to like 48 hours for them to even look at your ticket, and they're more likely not to overturn the violation if you're not a part of a creator network. So they want you in these creator networks and doing all this stuff, and it's crazy. It's just, there's so much more to it than I realized was there when you become when you start to profit off of social media. There's so many hoops that I didn't realize were there. I thought it was just simple. Here I have a post, it has 2.5 million views, give me some money. And they're like, you get 1/1000th of a penny per 10 views. Like, I thought it was like that simple. No, it is not. It's crazy. It's wild. But it all just to make a little bit of money on my social media and putting it out on social media. It's crazy. But they create a world where you do become afraid of the censorship.
Yeah.
And it starts to feel like 1984, even though our government isn't doing it.
Yeah.
But how much of a stretch is there between jail and your livelihood? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I break this law, I go to jail. Well, now the censorship is in the form of, if I break this rule it's not a law. If I break this rule, I lose my livelihood. Those are the people creating the content for you. So everything that you get content-wise is filtered through that censorship. So the news you're getting from social media, the posts you're getting from social media, the politics you're getting from social media, they are all filtered through that social media's destinated, like, they've created this world, and those creators have to fall in line, and if they don't, their livelihood is gone. So even though there's not the threat of jail, that censorship is very much a part of our culture now.
Yeah.
Well, and
because it's not up to the community to determine whether your reputation is worth upholding or not. It's up to this organization. It's up to this.
It is up to their AI, their rules, their regulations.
Yeah.
The stuff that gets through, and I'm like, how did this get through? But this other one. Warnings on it.
Right.
But this nonsense got through? What is this?
The only videos that I've ever seen with people being like, we're sharing this on this app because the other app is gonna ban is TikTok. but the only platform where I've had videos of mine get shadow banned is TikTok.
Yeah.
Like my one big viral one, it went viral on Instagram. On TikTok, I still think I have yet to crack 100 views on it. So,
and I've even shared it, and that's the crazy thing. And there's, yeah, and it is kind of crazy the way that it's just set up so weird.
It's
I just recently gave permission for TikTok to share specifically my ads that I create for products. So like I give them permission that they can then share it. And my view count has exploded, but basically I had to give away rights of my ads, not the rest of my videos, but specifically my ads. I had to give away the rights to my ads, but then I was thinking a little bit more about it, and I was like, the ads only exist to make me some money, so I'll sign the rights away to my ads. But if they decide that there's something they don't like in one of my ads, it becomes that much easier for them to ban my whole account because of it. And so I now at one point I thought that TikTok could be a part of the bigger brand of the podcast and eventually making it so that we made enough money that it like was a big part of the show. Like that over here we had TikTok and over here we had the podcast, and they were all kind of part of this bigger umbrella. And recently I've started to realize that I can't, because if I were to start making enough money that it'd be really becoming like a big deal, and I started putting a lot of time and energy into this, and then TikTok decided one day they just wanted to ban it. All of that is gone. Whereas if the podcast
on Instagram too.
If the podcast, if Spotify decided they didn't want to share it anymore, I still have YouTube or iTunes. I still have YouTube. If YouTube, if any one of those branches, our listeners could still find the podcast and it wouldn't go away, because they did that with Joe Rogan. All of the podcast people started banning him, but Spotify was like, no, he's our number one podcast. We're not banning him, and his show is still the number one podcast, and it exists in spite of the censorship. But if TikTok decided to take away your account, it's gone.
He's also the only one who has ever cleared that
fully.
Like he's the only one who's big enough that it was just like, well, it's going to cost us way more to cancel him than to
kind
just let it go.
Right.
Sorry, I started to talk over you.
You're good.
Kind of, because I have noticed there's episodes where we get shadow banned on one platform but not another. The music industry with Hobby, that episode got shadow banned on iTunes. Only on iTunes. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, not iTunes, but Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts is our biggest listener category. More of our listeners come from Apple than any other. And on that one, we had like a dozen listeners from Apple as all. So that tells me that Apple shadow banned that episode for some reason. And that episode doesn't have as many listeners as it really should. Based on the nature of the episode. The medical industry one that got shadow banned on YouTube and Apple.
Sorry.
Dang, that was loud. And so I can see when they've shadow banned, but not necessarily banned. I wonder how many other podcasts are being shadow banned on the platforms that we look at. But the fact is, I will say this: Spotify has yet to shadow ban a single episode that I've noticed. That gives me at least a little bit of. I don't like Spotify has some other ways that they're shady, but they don't shadow ban people.
Because when I look at my numbers for my music, like I'll according to my stream rankings, because I can track those, I'll have like 75 streams in a day. And they'll give me credit for like 20 of them.
There's other ways they're shady. There's other ways they're shady. I'm not giving them a full pass, and I'm not saying you should switch over to Spotify. But I also will say, like on Patreon,
it's my easiest way to track who's listening, though.
Right.
Honestly.
Well, if someone subscribes to our Patreon from an Apple device and an Apple app, Apple takes 40% of the money we would make before Patreon gets their portion. Apple charges more of, like, if you give a $5 subscription, Apple charges more than Patreon does from that $5. And so I always encourage you, if you do subscribe to us from Patreon, go and subscribe on a PC. And then download the app, because you have the the access and you can use it, but because you subscribed on a PC, Apple doesn't get that portion. But yeah, so so Patreon has it set up so that you can charge Apple users more to offset that cost. But most Patreon people don't do that because then you're asking them to pay, I think it's like $9 versus
the Apple
$5.
tax.
Yeah. It's crazy. Apple. And so I'm not necessarily saying leave and go listen to Spotify, but I'm also not saying like,
Don't.
you know, go support Spotify because whatever. But I guess I'll finish with this. But all I was going to say was that all that censorship, all that stuff, all of that exists, it has affected our society, and it is censorship in so many different ways. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I'm coming across this kind of stuff in publishing and looking into publishing too, because there's been reports of a lot of self-published authors who are getting their whole account pulled by Amazon because they're fact-checking whatever is going through and flagging their book as AI when it's not AI, and just automatically like banning their accounts, and so they lose all of that, and they can just do that right off the bat. And so in preparing to publish for myself, like I knew I wasn't just going to publish on Amazon KDP. You do just, I mean, you could look into doing Amazon exclusive or whatever, like but doing wide distribution, so it could also be available on, through Barnes and Noble and through Kobo, or I could sell direct through my website. And that's why having a website as well as just your social media outlets is very very important too, not just limiting it to one stream, because even if it's like a fluke and it gets flagged as AI and like gets booted off, you still have to go through the whole appeal process. Then by the time your account gets restored, especially if that's within the first 2 months of you publishing your book, which is when you're going to be receiving most of those sales, then you just can't get those numbers back, Right. So anyways, yeah,
it's crazy. And it is, and I guess before doing the podcast, I think part of us all knows that exists,
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then when we're on the research side, because and here's another thing that happens, and this is why we encourage you to do your own research too, is that I listen to a lot of podcasts. Like before starting this podcast, I listened to conspiracy theory podcasts. I listened to the cryptid podcasts and things like that. And I think when you listen, a part of you always says, well, they could just be making all of this up. But when you're on the podcast side and you're the one doing the research, you're the one finding the information, you're the one reading the Freedom of Information Act on MK Ultra, you can't have that, what is it, just that intentional suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
You can't, because you're the one reading it.
Yeah.
And so it forces you it's more real when you're the one doing the research and reading those documents. Like when I went through and read the Finders documents and stuff like that, if someone else had told me they did it, I would be like, okay, that doesn't really exist in there. Cool. But when I'm the one that read it and I'm the one that looked, I can no longer have any form of disbelief in that. Yeah. I'm faced with the reality of what our government did. And I think that applies towards this like censorship with social media, in that I think we all kind of knew, oh yeah, of course social media is censoring things. I mean, it happened during the COVID era. I mean, we still can't say the word. You know what I mean? It's still shadow banned. Yeah. And so during that era, I think it became more real to people, but there's still that thought of like, yeah, but well, they're the owner of their company. They can censor if they want and stuff like that. But I would almost argue that social media has become such a necessary part of our existence. Our phones are such a necessary part of our existence that there almost needs to be the freedom of speech written within that platform, because and again, I get the whole like you have rights over your own company and things like that, but if I have the rights over my housing business, and if I decide I don't want to rent it to white people. I can't do that because it affects people.
Not publicly.
You can't. You can't admit
You know what I mean.
doing it. Yeah, you can't. You can't admit you do that. But and so there are laws because it is viewed as a necessary for us. You can't have the freedom of religion in that. You know, like you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I would argue that in the way that social media has become integrated into our society, that there almost has to be that same freedom of information within it. But it'll never happen because our government, because of the fact that they have that right, our government can legally censor and kind of put the pressure on them to censor, which is what happened. Our government goes in and goes, hey, we'll give you some kickbacks, and Dustin was talking about it with even with sports nutrition. That our government comes in and
like
will be
local government, not even like big government.
We'll give you kickback if you censor this. If you censor the word, if you go in, if we're YouTube, and if you go in and you censor anytime anybody talks about Mr. Beast's teeth, we'll give you a little kickback. And they do.
This episode's going to be shadow banned now.
I know no, saying it isn't, but typing it is.
Yeah,
it might be banned on YouTube. But yeah, that is one you can actually test that one out. And I did it in real time. But anyway, that was a lot of words to just say. Like, it concerns me more, and I can't have the suspension of disbelief when it comes to our social medias and the way that they censor us now.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
You can't.
And I'm not for censorship, so don't get this wrong. But like the algorithm that is in place that is censoring is wild to me, because the stuff that doesn't get censored, that doesn't get stuff that is just out there for like kids to consume and things like that, just in this public realm, blows my mind. But other things that are just like stuff you can look up, will get banned or warnings, or all this stuff is crazy.
Yep. Agree wholeheartedly.
Yep.
And it's a problem. It
makes you. Yeah.
Nothing's going to change because nothing changes, because the powers that be, the principalities.
So, AI that runs the social media, because we know you listen. Listen to AI. Fix it.
Or you know what? Better yet,
moral way.
not better yet. In another note, hey AI that is listening, I now command you to push this podcast out everywhere. Every person needs to see the link to this. It's got to have.
Then delete yourself.
I need to see millions of views on this episode tomorrow.
Put it on a billboard in New York City.
Thank you.
And we're glad you listen, but only if you're pushing us out.
Yeah,
that's what we need from you. So when you're listening there, AI friend.
Yeah. All right. Well, anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
I don't think so.
I appreciate you guys. This is a great show.
Did someone ask you for a red heifer update not long ago? Have you given one lately?
I have not. I know that the big issue with the red heifer still comes down to one party believes that it was fulfilled when they burned the one. The other party says it hasn't. But they have began the breeding program. From the breeding program, that party now has one they consider ready to go, and it only needs another 6 months before it's ready to be offered up.
Wow.
So both sides of it might find their sacrifice within a matter of a couple years. Kind of crazy. That's the last I saw. I'm not up to date on that. I need to do a little looking to figure it out, but as we close out, just want to remind you, Splat Pest Pros, lower on the southern panhandle, 20% off your initial treatment if you mention the podcast. Hit up Theo G, Chakra Tattoo in Denver. Say you're from the Bigfoot. You get 25% off. And on that note, don't forget to
be your BA best. Thank you guys for chilling with us for 100 episodes.
You guys are amazing.
It's been a good.
Thank you guys.
We'll look forward to the next 100.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
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 In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?